Facts, non-fiction, said I black out for real, then the track gone missing. If it's cap, I'm dipping. We ain't talking about a move, then it's flatline finished. When I spaz, I'm grinning. Put a peel off in the Sadies and I pass by spinning. It's perks with this life, but I don't have my skinnage. Took a quick trip and now I'm back home winning. And I see they eyes pop like I snack on spinach. Pull up to the spot, she tryna grab my digits. I'm already 8 shots, a Henny past my limit. Here you go. Hazards with a dash full of tickets. I'ma act like I don't see them. I got bad eye vision. Y'all can't pass my scrimmage. While y'all tripping, it's Aruba. I realized I had to go and flip.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 181 of Psychotic and Iconic. Paul's here along with my co-hosts Nick Theories and Philly Phil. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in to the live stream. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and share it. Thank you to everybody that likes, follows, and subscribes to all of our platforms. Real fast, can you please let us know in the comments if we're echoing? That was a concern of ours. That's why we were a little late. If we're not,
no.
All right, perfect. Thanks,
all right,
Mommy.
we're good. We're rocking.
All right,
this is perfect.
Let's get back to episode 181. I want to get right into it because we have a ton of shit to talk about. It's going to be a long episode because we're going to do our thing. Let's start out with the bullshit at Bartle. CJ Stroud exploded in week 9 what was it, week 8? Week 9, right? Week 9, and locked up the Rookie of the Year race, in my opinion. I think it was locked up before that just by his play.
I don't know, because I think Puka was kind of in the conversation.
And Addison.
Yeah.
But CJ Stroud, dude, like when we were doing our top 10 quarterback list, I had him at 8. I think I had him too low. That's how good he's been this year.
I didn't have him in my top 10 at all, but I don't even know if he is a top 10 quarterback. He is playing like a top 10 quarterback, but overall, I mean, I don't know if I trust him at the 10 spot.
I know what you're saying, but man, what he's done this year has been incredible.
Oh, it's been super impressive. I mean, think about this. The Texans haven't won more than 4 games since 2019 when they went 10-6. And they're 4-4 right now through 9 weeks. Like, that's pretty impressive. So he's turning that franchise around.
And you know what's funny? The Browns traded Baker Mayfield. The Texans traded Deshaun Watson. Baker Mayfield and CJ Stroud are both better than Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. No, I mean, I also think that kind of like I think Stroud's success has kind of overshadowed the job that DeMeco Ryans has done with the Texans too. Like, I feel like that team is actually playing really hard. Like, we've never seen the Texans be this competitive week in and week out. Like, they're going to give you a dogfight.
They got the right coach and the right quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, Stroud, I mean, look, you can argue he don't have the best pieces. He's got Tank Dell, who's been fantastic. He's got Nico Collins, who's been, fantastic. But before the season, nobody was talking about the Texans' weapons like they were, like, superior to everybody else's. I mean, he's making it work. He's making Noah Brown. He had a great game last game. Like, he's utilizing his guys, and Dalton Schultz, who I thought he was good with the Cowboys.
So did I.
I felt like he moved the chains for him, and that's kind of what he's been for the Texans. And he's also been a great red zone threat. So like when you could score points in the red zone, you're going to be successful. And Stroud is playing excellent football, man. I mean, 5 touchdowns or 5 touchdowns at 470 yards, like. That's impressive. He's a rookie, man. We gotta like remember that as he's playing at such a high level. I hope he just didn't peak yet. You know what I mean? Like, I want him to keep going, and I'm rooting for the kid. But I think the Texans are going to be an up-and-coming team in the next couple of years.
Absolutely. And the thing that sucks is like I think I'm starting to get the pity party for CJ Stroud, for Bryce Young, and it's because, look, obviously he went number 1 and he was supposed to be the big thing, but the Panthers did him no favors by trading DJ Moore. But the flip side of that is CJ Stroud doesn't have an Adam Thielen, like a vet.
Mm-hmm.
And what CJ Stroud has done has just been like nothing short of remarkable. And what I worry for right now with CJ Stroud is that it's going to turn into, I'm going to compare it to the Sixers Celtics with Markelle Fultz and Jason Tatum. Markelle Fultz, no matter what he did, was always getting compared to Jason Tatum when he was with the Sixers because of how good Jason Tatum was and how the Sixers, Jason Tatum was right there for the Sixers to take until Colangelo got fleeced by Danny Ainge. And now it's like they were able to take CJ Stroud. There were reports that Frank Reich wanted CJ Stroud. It was just ownership and management that wanted Bryce Young. And it's like that. It's the same scenario now. Like Bryce Young, look, I'm not trying to overreact here, but he's a fucking midget, dude. He's small. He's small, dude. And he hasn't given me a moment in all 8 games this year or 7 games, however many he played. I think he missed a game where I was just like, wow, that's that dude. There hasn't been one moment yet where I really looked and was like, wow, that's him. And then on the flip side, like for the Justin Fields apologist, I don't want to hear it. Justin Fields has more in Chicago than CJ Stroud has right now in Houston. And he was garbage this year. He had 2 good games.
You think that's true?
Absolutely.
I do like Cole Kmet with the Bears.
Cole
Kmet's really slept on. I've always liked him.
I think Cole Kmet's good. DJ Moore is better than Nico Collins or Tank Dell. And I mean, look, I know it's Darnell Mooney and stuff, but it's like the running game for the Texans has been non-existent. Damian Pierce has been awful.
That's true.
And it's like Khalil Herbert did okay. Roshan Johnson was okay.
Well, Deontay Foreman, he stepped up.
He had a 3 touchdown game.
He's legit.
Yeah. So for me, CJ Stroud is rookie of the year, and there's nothing stopping him from that.
Nah, I totally agree. I mean, like I said, they already won 4 games this year. They haven't done that in 4 years. So
that's crazy.
I know it is crazy. That's
not crazy.
No, we don't say that.
It's theories.
It's theories. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, now it's over.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he's going to lock it up. I think it's a slam dunk. I actually think the Texans are. You think they can sneak into the wild card, the last spot?
Nah, not in the AFC.
You think they can get hot and fuck around?
No, not in the AFC.
No,
I don't.
I mean,
because the Jaguars
they're up there though.
I know, but the Jaguars are too good.
Are they better than the Chargers?
They're better coached.
Are they better than the Chargers? Don't dance.
Nah.
I agree. Are they better than the Browns?
Yes.
Wow. I'm going to say no on that.
I'll say yes because I know they're not defensively, but their defense is competent enough and their offense is better.
All right. Are they better than the Jets?
Yes.
And the Colts, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, do you have the Chiefs?
I got news for you on this. I'm going to say this right now. The way the Steelers' offense looks, I'm not sure the Texans aren't better than the Steelers.
Right. I was going to put them in. So, I mean, look, the Texans are a top 9 team. They only have to beat out 2 of those teams, I think.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting. I don't know. I think their schedule is.
I'm about to go look at it.
Pretty.
They play the Bengals, the Cardinals, the Jags, the Broncos, the Jets, the Titans. The Colts. All right. I mean, they got some winnable games on here. Bengals, Jags. I would say they only have 2 more. Their 2 next games. If they could if they could win 2 out of their next 3 games, they might be a 9-8, 10-7 team. I'm serious here.
That would be crazy. That would be nuts.
They play the Bengals, the Cardinals, and the Jags. And then after that, it's the Broncos, the Jets, the Titans, the Browns, the Titans, and the Colts.
I think they're going to, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later. I think the next game for them against the Bengals is going to be really interesting.
We'll get there.
I think it's going to be interesting. Then they played the Cardinals, the Jags, the Broncos, the Jets, the Titans, the Browns, the Titans, and the Colts. I got to be honest with you. They look like a playoff team based on their schedule.
Well, it's also going to depend too. What do the Chargers catch on?
Because the only 2 losses I can kind of definitively say is probably the Bengals and the Jags, based, you know what I mean, like out on the outside, and possibly the Browns. So yeah, you're right. They could go 10-7. They could go fucking 9-8. They very well could. I would love to see it.
Let's talk about another team, the Cowboys. They signed Martavis Bryant. If you want to look,
hey yo,
I can't. If you want to talk about an unserious franchise winning team, if you want to talk about a franchise that is unserious, just look at the Dallas Cowboys. This team is a joke.
Now, let me ask you a question though, because I got this in the comments. So I made a reel about it earlier. So go check it out. Anybody that didn't go check it out, yeah, you're ignorant asses. Go check it out. And the comments was kind of revealing. They said that that Dallas, it was a low risk. It didn't matter. They needed a practice squad player. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, nah, fam, that's not the reason why they did this. They know they have a hole at wide receiver because Gallup can't catch a cold, bro. So it's like they had to do something. They had to, what the Cowboys are trying to do. They're trying to get magic out of like old tires. It ain't happening, bro. Like they're already completely off the threads, off the treads. You know what I mean? Like they're done, dog. Like he hasn't been in the league in 5 years. When he went to the XFL, he was ass. It wasn't like he was in the XFL and he was dominating. And then, and then the comments saying, oh, well, he's playing with an XFL quarterback. He's an XFL wide receiver. That's what he is. That's why he's there.
Listen, man, Martavis Bryant is fucking crazy.
It's insane. Like, I actually forgot about him.
So did I.
I totally forgot about Martavis Bryant. I'm sitting there. I'm like, when the Cowboys signed him, I thought it was a troll job. It was like, like those fake ass like NFL, tweets and shit. And it's like, is that real? And it was actually real. And I was like, wow, I was blown away. I started laughing. I'm like, this team, like, how do you sign a guy like that and turn around and look your franchise in the eyes and say, yo, we're serious about winning?
They're not.
You can't. Like, yo, you're duping the people. Like, you are.
And then you're charging $100 to park.
Like, it's crazy. And I'm not saying I'm not saying he was signed to have a quick impact, but he was signed to have some impact, because to sign a 31-year-old on the practice squad, what impact are you expecting? What are you expecting? And people are telling me his potential, he's 6'4", blah, blah, blah. That's great.
It's been 5 years.
That's great. If he was all that, teams would have already scooped him up as soon as he was reinstated.
Right,
he would have had a laundry list.
Scoop or poop, Martavis Bryant.
Fucking garbage poop, man. Diarrhea. Straight up.
Is.
Corn in there.
He's the runs.
Corn in there. That's my answer. That's my answer.
He's the runs.
There's no way, man.
My thing is,
shit is crazy.
And I told you this, bro, back in August when you were talking about this team, and I just said, the Cowboys are trash. They will always be trash. They're the hype they're the big hype thing of the offseason with certain moves they make where everybody gets an all. This team is trash. They're not a serious franchise. They're just not. I mean, you signed Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks this year has 17 catches and 165 yards. CD Lamb had 11 catches and 191 yards last week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, that's offensive malpractice, bro. And the thing is you let Ezekiel Elliott go for Tony Pollard, and you want Tony Pollard to be the one. Tony Pollard hasn't scored a touchdown since week 1 and hasn't rushed for over 53 yards in 5 weeks. So what are you? They have no identity. They have no identity. You know what they are? We're the Dallas Cowboys. That's what they are. They're an organization that will never go nowhere. That the NFC East belongs to the Eagles. The Cowboys, this team is embarrassing. And what's even more embarrassing is the fans that actually think they have a chance. No disrespect to my brothers. I love them. But I'm just saying, bro, the Cowboys have no chance.
I think they have a good team. I think they're still a good team.
We're going to get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. I think they're a good team. I just think
overall.
I just think overall they make boneheaded moves. And to respond to Tom's comment, he said, I don't think it's because the Eagles signed Jones. To me, it's two different spectrums. I think Jerry Jones has Alzheimer's.
I can't say it. My Facebook.
Well, to respond to that, I would say
I think Jerry Jones has
I think it kind of was a response. I think the Cowboys made a mistake by not signing Julio Jones.
So
I think that was like admitting, like, damn, the Eagles got one over us. The Eagles don't even need Jones.
Are you talking about
like Julio Jones's numbers are going to be pedestrian because he's not going to play much, because the Eagles realistically they don't need him on offense. They already have 2 wide receiver ones. They have Cuzz. They had Goddard, and they run the football down their throat. So like to the point is like Julio Jones is not going to be needed as much. He's going to be in there here and there. He's not going to get all the reps, but the Cowboys could have used him. Tom Brady called him up last year to come join him. He must have something in the tank. I think Julio could still play. I don't think he's Julio Jones. I think he can contribute better than Gallup. I mean, I would trust Julio Jones catching the football over Michael Gallup.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if that's necessarily like the reason they went and got Martavis Bryant, but the Cowboys' red zone offense is horrible. They could have used Julio Jones, a big body in there that you could throw the ball to.
Right.
Their red zone offense is terrible. They can't run the ball between the tackles, and they don't have anybody that can go up and get the ball.
Yeah.
They just don't. CD Lamb isn't that type of player. And if he is, I haven't seen him be utilized that way. So I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I just, when I look at that and you see the Cowboys sign Martavis Bryant, and it's like, how are you 5-3? The 2 teams that you're competing against in the NFC, in the NFC, are clearly better than you. And you at the trade deadline, you don't make a move to get somebody. That's where I just get confused on that, because it's like the Eagles are like, okay, we're weak on the backside in defense. We're going to go get Kevin Byard. Oh, is he the best? No, but he's an improvement over what we had. The 49ers are like, okay, we can't get to the quarterback. We're going to go get Chase Young. Dallas, they can't run the ball, and they lost their corner. They don't have a second wide receiver, and it's like, we're good. That's the issue that I have with the Cowboys, where it's just like, and like Spanos said this, and like, making the joke about being an Eagles fan now. And it's like, that really is the truth. Like, you're selling your fans a team that doesn't exist.
Well, here's the thing. Had Dallas known that Eagles were interested in Julio Jones, Dallas would have made a play.
And I agree. Tom's 100% right here. And we said this when it happened. You traded Amari Cooper to the Browns for a 5th round pick.
Yeah, I hated that.
That made no sense.
It didn't make any sense. He's too good for that.
If you put Amari Cooper onto the Cowboys right now, they would have beat the Eagles last week. Because James Bradbury ain't sticking Amari Cooper. He's having trouble with whatchamacallit, D&I.
I don't know if they beat us.
They have a better chance because CD had 11 for 190.
True.
They're more dangerous.
Yeah.
They might have still lost, but they're more dangerous. Like, you're not throwing to us your second tight end in the red zone. Now you have 2 legitimate wide receiver threats, and you have Jake Ferguson, who's been really good.
Yeah, he's been awesome.
Amari Cooper, that really is the thing. Amari Cooper's great.
But yeah, I don't know. I just think that was a response for that, because my thing is like, if like I said, if the Cowboys had known the Eagles were interested in Julio Jones, they would have gotten him, because I think the Cowboys knew they had a need there. I think the Cowboys are just trying to catch lightning in the bottle. Because why the hell would you sign a 31-year-old to the practice squad? To me, you can't. I can't even make sense of it. I don't even know what the pro is in this situation. Pros versus cons. There's a lot more cons than pros. I can't even think of one pro that would make the Cowboys want to sign Martavis Bryant. I don't understand it.
Yeah,
because if he's just gonna be on your practice squad and that's cool, then like, what's the point? Like, you knew you were. Then our point remains. Because you're just trying to be in the media's face, because you know that he's kind of a big name. He's been out of the league and all this, and then now you're back in the media after you said, I'm not trading, blah blah blah, after the deadline, and it's like, all right, cool. Well, why didn't you trade to go get a wide receiver? So now you're trying to catch lightning in the bottle with Martavis Bryant at age 31, who's going to be on your practice squad. It doesn't make any sense to even sign him. I don't understand it.
Who was that wide receiver? The little dude that they got, I can't think of his name, from the Colts last year. He made that big 3rd down play against the Eagles when Gardner Minshew played. T.Y. Hilton. That's who it was, right?
T.Y., yeah.
Yeah, T.Y. Mm-hmm. He was washed up and over the hill. He made that one play. It's just, they do stupid things. And so it's like, come on, man. Like, T.Y. Hilton's not a difference maker anymore.
Right.
That was just last year.
Yeah, they're reaching.
But that's what I'm saying. You wouldn't have had to go get Martavis Bryant and T.Y. Hilton if you just kept Amari Cooper.
Yeah, that. But I mean, like, at that point, like, Gallup wasn't having a big impact. So it's
Gallup was good 2 years ago. I don't know what transpired after the knee injury, because I thought Gallup was really good. They paid him.
That was
why they let Cooper walk.
Right.
Was Michael Gallup.
Right.
They paid Michael Gallup, and they had CD, and they drafted CD. And for reasons I can't explain, like, Michael Gallup lost his hands.
I don't know what he lost. It's a bad situation. I just that whole scenario is just super strange to me. I don't get it.
Let's go to another super strange situation. The dark horse is back. Carson Wentz, signed by the Rams. Do you think Sean McVay could rejuvenate him?
You want me to be real about this? I think so.
Because I got footage.
I think so, because Baker did. I mean, talent-wise, Carson Wentz is right up there. I know Baker's the number 1 overall pick, former number 1 overall pick.
Wentz was 2.
Yeah, and Wentz was a high draft pick, but I can't trust Carson Wentz. Nah. It's just, for me, with him, like, the only way he's gonna rejuvenate his career is if he gets out of his own head about being a starter, and if he can just come in there, work, learn the system, and then when he gets his opportunity to play, then he can shine. Like, to me, this is his best opportunity for Wentz to be in the good graces of the league. He doesn't have to be the leader of the team. Stafford is. All he needs to do is gain the respect of his teammates and ball the fuck out when he does play and not do stupid plays. That will get the respect of his teammates. But if he goes out there, he plays hard, I think he can make a name for himself, and he can possibly be a backup somewhere next year.
Could Matt Stafford be going to the IR?
Could be, because why else would they sign Wentz? It doesn't make any sense.
Why sign him now?
No.
I just don't understand it. Why?
I don't know.
That's the only thing. Honestly, that was the first thing that popped in my head. Was Stafford actually hurt?
He's probably hurt.
Because his thumb was wrapped up and he didn't play the rest of that game.
Well, who they have? Who's their backup? They got
Ripien, right?
Rippy, yeah.
And because Stetson Bennett, I think, left for personal reasons.
They saw enough of him after that 1 week.
Well, I mean, it's Ripien. I can't even think of his first name. Brett.
Yeah. He's a decent backup, but I actually, I mean, look, man, Baker did it. I mean, look, he's got this is this best opportunity. He's got Cooper Kupp, he's got Puka Nacua. This is his best opportunity to go shine. He's got good wide receivers. He's not throwing to FedEx workers. He's actually got legit people.
Look, I think Carson Wentz is what he is at this point. He had 2 or 3 great years in the league, good years in one terrific year, one good year, and 2 good years, I'll say. 1 great, 2 good. And the rest has just been a whole bunch of, I don't know what you're doing. Yeah. That's really it. That's really what it was. He had 3 good years, and then the rest was, all right, bro, are you okay? And I hate to say this, and I don't mean it like in a disrespectful way. I think when Jadeveon Clowney concussed him, I think it really messed him up.
Why do you say that?
Because he was literally never the same after that. He had 1 good year after that. I just wonder if it was like brain fog. If he just got a severe concussion.
It's either, I mean, he took the biggest L ever though when he saw his backup quarterback.
I said that he never mentally recovered from that, and I don't even blame him for that, because I don't know if the shoe was on the other foot and I was there, I don't know how I would feel. And I could love you to death, dude, but I'm just saying, like, you did all that work. You were about to be the MVP, and you were about to be Philly's hero. And then Nick Foles stepped in, played just as well as you, and won the Super Bowl. And outdueled Tom Brady and Bill Belichick.
But you got to be a professional too, though.
I get it.
You got to be a professional.
I get it. But I'm just saying, you can be professional and then still have your mental battles where it's like,
no, but
wow, that was supposed to be.
But that's where I would disagree, because I feel like when you were playing at such a high level, your confidence level should still be high. Yeah, you got hurt, but you should be like, all right, well, I can still do this. I was playing at MVP level. Yeah, my backup quarterback won the Super Bowl. That does hurt, and I totally agree. I get it, but you got to trust you got to be confident in your skill at that point. Like, you got to lean on your skill at that point, because that's really what got you there in the first place. So he should have had that on his shoulder, but like, all right, look, I still have my skills. I can recover from this. I can battle from this. I can get back into the good graces of Philly. And I think he could have, but the mental battle, he was playing tug of war, and he never recovered. And
he needed
it is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah, he just blew it.
I mean, what else do you say? You know what I mean?
What sucks is the first year with the Colts, if that last game doesn't happen and they go to the playoffs, it's a different. Look, I'm not saying he would have won the Super Bowl or he might have got blown out in that playoff game. I'm just saying he had a good year, and then that last game when it mattered, he turned into Carson Wentz.
Yeah,
and that's what sucks. Like, he ruined a good year in that last game when the Jags were playing for nothing. So that really hurt him. I don't know if he can rejuvenate his career, because I don't know that a team would take him, but I think he just might be, he might just be a backup. I mean, he is a backup. I'm just saying, I don't know if he's going to be that backup that just randomly signs 1-year deals around the league.
I don't think so either. Look, I'm not expecting Carson Wentz to light the world on fire, but I think he could perform well enough and put out a good tape for other teams to look at and be like, all right, look, he's a viable option at the backup quarterback position, and I think he could get there. I think with Cooper Kupp there and Puka Nacua, as long as he can eliminate the stupid plays on tape, I think he can make an impact.
I'm rooting for him.
The problem is like the Rams offensive line ain't really that good. So, and we know how, Carson Wentz can be under pressure sometimes.
Yeah.
He does do the dumb bonehead plays, the sidearms, the fumbles, the stupid shit. You know what I mean? That give him the bad name that he has. And if he can eliminate that and play some good ball here down the stretch, I think he could put on. I think a team would give him a shot at a backup quarterback position.
I mean, obviously, I'm rooting for him.
I mean, look,
he's Josh Allen Sr.
I mean, let's be real here. A year ago, nobody thought Baker Mayfield was a starting quarterback.
I did.
Come on. I'm being honest. Like I'm saying, like when I say nobody, I mean you. But like when I say nobody, I mean like literally like nobody, bro. Like not many people expected Baker Mayfield to be a starting quarterback at that point in time.
I actually feel bad for Baker because he played a hell of a game and lost.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault.
Yeah, he must have played for my fantasy team.
But yeah, no, I mean that's really my take on it, man. It's just like he has the opportunity. This is the best opportunity he's going to get around the league.
We have a reel dropping, hopefully tomorrow or in the next few days, of a conversation from our episode on August 8th when Carson Wentz posted that picture of him wearing the Eagles helmet, the Commanders jersey, and the Colts shorts. I can't wait for that to come out.
It was episode 166. Fit the bill
at the 35-minute mark. I can't wait for that to come out because that's really going to show you what we're about.
That was actually kind of crazy.
But I want to talk about another bum-ass quarterback. Daniel Jones tears his ACL. I feel bad for him for that. You know, I don't want to see anybody get injured. But this was truthfully the best thing that could have happened for the Giants.
That's crazy, man.
It was. No, I don't mean that in the, like I'm not happy he got hurt or nothing, but for the franchise, it was the best thing that could have happened for them. Because Daniel Jones's deal, they got 1 year left on it after this year.
So they're going to
they can get out of it. But I'm just saying they have no reason to win the rest of the year. They can get a real quarterback. They already made a mistake giving him the deal after not picking up his 5th-year option. Lose out the rest of the year with Tommy DeVito. That's crazy.
That is crazy. That sounds like a mobster.
That's what I said. Nick Wright said he's a Goodfellas character.
He does sound perfectly like that, yo.
So
Tommy DeVito.
And he's in New York. So I would roll the rest of the year with Tommy D, Cuzz, and then I would
Tommy D, Cuzz,
and then I would go get Caleb.
Yo,
or Drake
that
May.
is fucking crazy. Tommy D, Cuzz. Yo, that's wild. Yo, shout out Tom, man. But that is a funny ass name, yo. Like Tommy D, Cuzz.
I miss that guy.
It actually came to fruition. Like Tommy D, that fits perfect.
I don't know what made me.
I don't know, but that's fucking hilarious, yo. Well,
what do you got to say on that? What do you got to say on Danny J?
Well, I think they have two options here. I think they either stick with Daniel Jones and get offensive line help in the draft and free agency.
The fuck you want?
And go get a wide receiver one and see what they could do with the protection and the wide receiver.
I don't use protection.
The Giants are slated with the 4th overall pick at the moment. So if they continue to lose out, the Giants could fight for a top 2, top 3 draft pick. Second option is they draft a young quarterback high. They eat the salary and start over from scratch. The problem is it's hard for a young quarterback to get going with no offensive line and no weapons around them. So again, you're going to be back to the same spot. You have a young quarterback with nothing to offer on the outside and no line help. So how is he supposed to succeed? If anybody has watched the Giants, I can get through that line, bro. Like it's crazy. It's Swiss cheese in that motherfucker.
It's Swiss cheese.
It's so bad. Like it's so bad. Speaking of C's, you play him this week.
Yo. Some Caesar.
Yeah, you play him this week. You better watch your mouth, bro.
It's a big game.
You better watch your mouth.
I'm gonna bust Caesar's ass.
You better watch your mouth, bro.
Bro, if I lose that, he's gonna crush. He's
gonna crush you, yo.
We were talking about it yesterday.
What did he say?
We were just laughing because I'm like, bro, one of us is gonna be getting crushed, and he's like, I know. He's like, and then he said it's gonna be you and all that. But we were cracking up laughing because I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, I wouldn't be talking shit on Caesar right now, man, because I don't want Carmen to bite me in the ass.
What happened?
I don't want Carmen to bite me in the ass, so I'd be saying all the good things right now.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I don't believe in magic, so
I don't believe in magic.
We're good.
But yeah, that's my two options for the Giants. What they should do. I like option. Out. I like option 2. I don't want to stick with Daniel Jones. Everybody knows how I feel about him. Like it ain't a secret at this point.
He's super shit.
Yeah, he's super ass, bro. But to his point and in fairness to him, his offensive line is really dog shit, yo. Like I don't know many players that would actually succeed with that offensive line.
I watched CJ Stroud do it.
Yeah, but they're
Texans
a little bit
line or some shit.
They're a little bit better than the Giants. At least they have Tunsil.
But here's my problem. This is what the problem that I have though. Why would you, if you're Daniel Jones, you fought for 47 M's.
Yeah, hell yeah.
When you know they can't build around you.
Hell yeah. Yo, if I know I'm going to take 100 hits and get sacked 70 times a year, fuck yeah, I will 47 M's. Hell yeah.
No, I would say give me 35 M's and go get some big fat motherfuckers to protect me.
But the problem
I don't
was,
need if you're making 35 million, you don't need another 13 million. Go get people to protect you.
yeah, but I don't know if anybody wanted to go to the Giants though. Like in fairness, they have to want to go to New York too. Yeah, you could throw them the money, but they got to want to go there too.
That's true.
So I don't know. I think a lot of people in the offseason look at that situation with Saquon and, you know, a lot of things up in the air with the Giants at the time. I didn't think the Giants were a free agent destination for a lot of players that would actually want to win and compete. Like, I just didn't think they were there. So, like, as a, you know, obviously everybody wants their money, but I think a lot of players want to win too.
Do you think the Patriots are a destination?
For who?
For players, coaches?
Yeah, I think so. I still believe that.
I don't know, because I think if the Colts, because apparently there's rumors coming out that they could fire Belichick if he loses to the Colts.
They're not doing that. You're crazy as hell.
I told you.
I bet you any amount of money they don't fire Belichick during the season.
Want to put a quarter on it?
Let's do it. Let's do a quarter on it. I bet you they don't fire him during the season. They will never do that, bro.
Oh, you're not even saying this week. You're saying during the season?
During the season.
You don't think he gets?
Fuck no.
If he goes back to
no. They got too much respect for Belichick. They will allow him to finish out the season. What are you going to do? Bring in an interim head coach and be like, all right, here you go. We're going to give it to Belichick. Get the hell out of here, man.
I'm just saying, bro.
Look, if you're going to succeed with Belichick, you got to die with Belichick.
Oh, they're dying, all right.
There you go.
Slowly and painfully.
Exactly. So there you go. My thing is,
what has Bill done without Brady, bro? 15 games, 14 games under 500?
Well, look, I mean, it's Brady. What do you expect?
Two things we know. It wasn't Belichick that had anything to do with Tom Brady's success. Well,
that's
if you want
not
to say
true.
defensively.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but Tom Brady didn't need Belichick because he won with Bruce Arians. I'm not sure that if he had Bruce Arians his entire career, he wouldn't have had a similar career, because I think Bruce Arians is an excellent head coach. He was great with Peyton Manning. He was great with Ben Roethlisberger. He was great with Andrew Luck. He was great with Carson Palmer. He revitalized Carson Palmer's career after Carson Palmer tore his ACL with the Bengals, because Carson Palmer bounced around. Carson Palmer was with the Raiders.
They went to the bowl, right? Or was that Ken Wisenhunt? No, they were garbage with him, I think.
That was Wisenhunt. That wasn't Arians in 2009.
In the Super Bowl?
Oh no, wait, no, that was Ken. That was Bruce Arians and Kurt Warner. He revitalized Kurt Warner after he left the Giants, where he was trash.
Yeah, he was with the Cardinals for that run.
So that's what I'm saying, dude. He had Kurt Warner and then he had Carson Wentz, two old timers that he worked with, and they were great. So I think Bill Belichick's going to be in some trouble.
He ain't getting fired though during the season.
Do you think he can get fired by the end of the year?
Well, I mean, there was talks about him. He just signed an extension in the offseason. We don't hear about that during coaches. The only time we hear about coaches signing contracts is when they actually is the first deal they get, when it's breaking news. But other than that, their contracts are kind of on the silent. Like we never hear, oh my God, this team extended, let's say, an example, the Eagles extend Sirianni for 3 years. Like, we don't really hear that in the news. They kind of get swept under the rug. But the Belichick news, apparently he signed an extension in the offseason. And I think he's there for another couple years. So
yeah, I know.
I don't know. I think the logical thing is to keep Belichick as the head coach and maybe and maybe actually hire a GM. Have Belichick just focus on the coaching aspect of the game.
Oh, no, he can't
then the
do
GM.
that. You know why? Because Bill Belichick doesn't look in the mirror and check his ego. He doesn't have honest conversations with himself.
Why?
He's not taking a demotion.
I'm not saying
He'll get fired before he takes a demotion.
Look, he's done some good things at the GM position, but he's also done a lot of questionable things that have actually kind of backfired his team to where they are now.
Yeah, they had some good draft picks. I get that, but his picks, I mean,
well, wide receiver wise, he swing and misses.
Oh, it's horrible.
But but defensive backs, he could find anybody.
I know.
He could find anybody. He could be the fucking first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth round. Don't matter, dude.
Who do we talk about all the time? Patrick Chung.
He finds
garbage on the Eagles. Patrick Chung goes to
well, he was good with
New
the
England.
Patriots.
He left. He was trash.
Yeah.
He went back, and he was a Pro Bowler.
Yeah. Was that the year the Eagles were the super team?
Maybe.
When they got Chung?
That was 2009. So that was the Vince Young year with it was Asamoah and it might have been Chung. If my brother's,
I believe Chung.
Rob, if you're in here, can you Google that?
I think
it might
Chung.
be.
I think Chung was on that team.
It might have been actually. It may have been.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, there's several examples. I mean, Jamie Collins, Trey Flowers, like a bunch of these players that, like, when they play for Belichick, they're awesome. They're all pro players. They're Pro Bowl caliber players. Then they go to other teams and they're ass. So, like, he has the defense on lock still. Like, I think his defensive coaching is A1.
Of course.
It's right up there with the best in the league still.
Real.
So, I mean, to me, it's just offensively. And we talked about it a couple of times, in our previous episodes. It's the lack of talent for the Patriots. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
There's a big disparity between the Patriots and the rest of the league in terms of talent. They don't have it. Running back position. I mean, yeah, they have Stevenson, but they signed old ass Zeke.
Speaking of lack of talent, let's go to two teams that lack talent. Raiders this week beat the Giants 30-6, and Antonio Pierce's head coach.
Whoa. The Raiders don't lack talent.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what they lack? They lack organization,
leadership,
yeah,
and direction.
Mm-hmm.
When's that time your phone died? Speaking of lacking direction.
Last night. Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. Antonio Pierce wins his first game as what's understood.
What the hell does that have to do with anything?
I was curious. I was just asking because I said that the Raiders lack direction, and then when I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? Let me check in on theories.
So wait, your phone never dies?
I can't tell you the last time my phone died.
Really?
I honestly can't tell you.
Is that healthy for
Actually,
for the life of the phone?
Yeah, because it's a lithium battery. You could charge them. It doesn't matter.
All right.
If you want, last night though, I fell asleep at 8:00. I didn't even answer your phone.
That's regular.
Text
You never
messages.
do though.
You're out of your mind.
Stop. Get the hell out of here.
All right, Phil, we're gonna do facts or cat. I don't answer my phone. Cat.
That's facts. I text you. You be on some bullshit.
No.
And you know what's funny about him? I'll be having a conversation. He'll text me back with one word: supreme. The fuck am I supposed to answer to that? Supreme. Supreme what? I'm talking to you.
I do that.
I'm talking to you. I'm legitimately having a conversation. He texts me back, supreme. Hey, what the fuck is that?
You said something that was supreme. I thought it was good.
I know it's supreme, but at least elaborate. Give me something to fucking respond to.
You know what?
Supreme what?
I'll work on that.
Supreme tacos? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, I made one last night. We had Taco Tuesday. Antonio Pierce wins his first game as the interim head coach for the Raiders. What do you think about the Raiders franchise moving forward with him?
I love it. I think his players, they respond to him. When the Raiders found out that he was going to be their head coach, we had Max Crosby taking a selfie video like I did earlier and was saying all the good things about Antonio Pierce, how he's so excited for him, how he's pumped and he's inspired that he's our coach now. Like, you could just tell that move just rattled the cages in that locker room. And I'll tell you what, I think it's going to be a great move for him. And you know what? If he has success, give him the shot. Who's to say you need experience to be good? Who's to say that? All it takes is a couple games, get a couple games under your belt, and you can actually succeed. As long as you got the respect of the locker room, you're golden. Like, we're talking about grown men here. Grown men have to respect you when you tell them certain things. So when I tell you something and you do it, that means you respect me. But when I tell you something and you don't do it, then it's like, all right, damn, bro, like, you're not part of the mission. You're not about it.
See, that's what I'm saying. When I tell you charge your phone and you don't charge your phone, you don't respect me.
Yeah, but I'm always part of the mission.
That's crazy.
I'm always in the mission.
That's
Get the fuck out of here.
Crazy.
Well, it happens.
No. But to be serious, I agree with you totally, dude. And you know what was crazy? Nobody talked about. Did you see the thing? He had all of the practice squad on the sidelines.
Did he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Brought his practice squad on the sidelines, and the reporter asked him why, and he said because they wear a Raiders jersey. That is galvanizing shit.
Yeah.
I love that, bro. I'm serious because those guys work hard too. They work hard too. And look, I'm not going to say he should remain the head coach. Let's see how it plays out. Jeff Saturday won his head coaching debut too.
That's a buttercup move.
It's a gimmick.
Absolutely.
But I like it.
I like it too.
But here's the thing. When you have a broken locker room like that, that's how you bring a broken locker room together. Doubt. That's somebody reading the room and who's a good leader and understands leadership.
Yeah, they need that.
But I feel like with Antonio Pierce, let's just see how it plays out. If it turns into a Rich Bisaccia situation like 2 years ago, which I still said that was the number one wrong move.
Yeah, but you don't know how Rich Bisaccia would have done the next year either, though.
But bro, when you have momentum like that, he deserved a chance.
I get it. Absolutely. But I could see why they went the McDaniels route. They had every intention to go get Devontae
Josh
Adams.
McDaniels stinks.
But
I said this. I made 37 TikToks.
But they were going offensively. Like, I knew what the Raiders were doing. They were pushing for offense. Hunter Renfrow came off a good year. Derek Carr came off a good year.
And they all shit the bed under this guy.
They got Devontae. That's what I'm saying. But they went all in on the offensive mode.
If Josh McDaniels gets another head coaching job somewhere, it's embarrassing.
It's not going to happen.
He's horrible.
He's going to be a coordinator for the rest of his career, and that's fine. I mean, look, I think he's a great coordinator.
I don't know.
I don't care what
know
anybody says. I think he's a great coordinator.
I don't know.
I think he can coach offense.
I would like to see him without Tom Brady, because I have to look at that, because he had Mac Jones for 3 years. Now, look, Mac Jones year 1 was okay. But the last 2 years, I'm sorry, the year after,
Mac Jones, and Mac Jones was a Pro Bowler and went to the playoffs.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I would like to see
he was
a bigger
good with
sample size. He was. But remember,
and that's how he got his job too.
We talk about this all the time. Mac Jones was like the 7th reserve. I know he made it to the Pro Bowl, but all the other guys didn't play.
But he made the playoffs with Mac.
The
Patriots ain't sniffing the playoffs.
They're not even close. They're not even close.
So they actually kind of miss Josh McDaniels calling the plays a little bit.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. I'm curious to see if he goes back there, because they just got what's his face, Bill O'Brien. I'm curious to see.
I think Billy O is going to stay.
That's what I'm saying.
I think so. He's good.
I was wondering, like, what does Josh McDaniels do?
Yeah.
Does he maybe go to the Saints under Sean Payton?
Ooh.
I just thought of that. That's another offensive guy.
Mm-hmm.
Could he go to Dallas under Mike McCarthy? Even though I know Mike McCarthy wants to do his thing.
Green Bay would be a good option, but they have LaFleur, so I don't know.
I mean, that offense looks pretty bad,
Mm-hmm.
so maybe. But there's a couple avenues there for him. Could he go to Tennessee with Vrabel? I don't know.
I think he's going to go somewhere where he's familiar. That's going to give him the best chance to get back into the good graces of the league too. I think that's what it's about. I think it's about protecting your image at this point.
We're going to talk about a team here, and this is also a team, the Chiefs.
Yep.
The Chiefs' offense is abysmal this year after losing Eric Bieniemy. I don't know if that's the whole reason, but it might have had something. It might have something to do with it.
I mean, their wide receivers don't help them out either.
I get it, but Sam Howell's playing well, and Eric Bieniemy's running that offense. So,
they also got pretty good wide receivers over there. Terry McLaurin's a really damn good wide receiver.
So
he
is
slept
Dotson,
on.
So is
they have good weapons.
So
I like Logan Thomas. I think
he's good. His problem was his health.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think they have weapons over there.
Yeah. So the Chiefs wound up beating up the Dolphins 21-14 in Germany. What do you make of both of the performances?
Well, I was wrong about having the Dolphins as the second best team. I'll tell you that. I thought they were going to beat the Chiefs this week.
Humility goes a long way, man. I'm proud of you.
No, it's just honest, man. Like, I was so high on the Dolphins. I think their offense is still good. I think their offense is good, but you know what, man? Like, and I've said this several times. The Chiefs' defense was really the factor in this game. I mean, to hold the Dolphins to 14 points, that's pretty good. Like, that's going to win you the game, because you know the Chiefs are going to score more than 14, and they did. But I'll tell you what, though, I was pretty encouraged overall. I think the ability for them to be in the game after falling down 21-0 tells me that they're pretty resilient and they can withstand adversity. So, like, to me, like, I think I was pretty encouraged by the overall performance. Yeah, they didn't get the job done, but I thought they did an excellent job shutting down Travis Kelce. That was the best performance I have seen defensively anybody has ever done on Travis Kelce. He didn't do shit this game. They actually had the formula to beat the Chiefs. They just didn't play well offensively, and that's also in part due to the Chiefs playing really good defense, which I've said here several times. That is one of the most slept on units in all of football. They have been excellent. That is the one side of the ball nobody talks about when they talk about the Chiefs. It's always Mahomes, Kelce. But that defense is rocking.
I know. They are really good.
The defense is really good.
They're good, man. They are. I'm discouraged by the Dolphins, man.
I don't know why. Why?
They haven't passed the test.
I know they haven't.
They played 3 good teams. They got blown out twice. And when you had a chance to beat this one, like that throw by Tua with Cedric Wilson, like, bro, that was just miscommunication. But, like, you can't have miscommunication in those moments. Those are the moments where you make your name.
I agree.
Those are big moments. And it's like, that's a tough loss.
Yeah.
And that was a great moment for you to separate yourself in the AFC East.
Well, we talked about it. That was a big game for the Dolphins because they needed some confidence.
That's what I was saying. And I said that. I love the Dolphins. I thought the Dolphins were going to win that game. I thought they were going to show up. Tyreek Hill, they're still going to get this work. They called out. Tyreek Hill called out.
Yeah, I mean,
he was a no-call, no-show.
He said he was going to go for 250 and a tutty, and that didn't happen.
Yeah, he woke up with the flu.
Yeah, no, they did an excellent job. I mean, like I said, they jammed up the line of scrimmage. They broke up the rhythm. They got after to it, and that was the ball game. That's how they stopped them. I mean, you got to give hats off to the Chiefs, man. Their defense is good. I thought Miami's defense played really well. Like I said, like to shut down Travis Kelce, that's not easy, and they did that.
Do you still think do you still think the Chiefs are the king of the AFC?
Absolutely,
Cat.
Absolutely, they are. I mean, who's better than them?
The Ravens.
The Ravens are better than them right now, but like, are you more confident in the Ravens going to the Super Bowl, or are you more confident in the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl?
Right now, the Ravens. As of right now, the Ravens.
But how are you going to feel in 2 months? That's where like I put myself in that kind of shoes, and that's kind of how I get my predictions. And I'm like, all right, 2 months from now, we know like the Chiefs losing to the Broncos is going to be a complete wipeout. Nobody's going to remember it, because the Chiefs are going to be in it.
Of course. Look, that was just one of those games. The same way that nobody's going to remember the Eagles losing to the Jets.
Right.
And at this point, the Cowboys losing to the Cardinals. I mean, look, that could come.
That could haunt them.
That could haunt them, but I don't think it will, because I have a little bit more respect for Dallas than that. But the Chiefs aren't the king of the AFC. It's the Ravens, bro. Look at what the Ravens are doing. They're dominating.
Well, to be the man, you got to beat the man.
And that's fair, but the last 2 weeks, the Chiefs haven't scored in the second half.
Last 2 weeks?
The last 2 weeks against the Broncos and against the Dolphins, the Chiefs haven't scored in the second half. That's a problem. Because now, the thing used to be with the Chiefs was if they were down by 10 points, 14 points, you knew they were coming back. That's not the case anymore, because they don't have any good pass catchers.
They are
besides Travis Kelce.
They are the team that has to play ahead and allow their defense to take over and allow their offense to kind of get into some type of rhythm. I think the Chiefs offense is going to be all right. Like, yeah, they're struggling now, but I think they're going to figure it out. I think they have a really good young wide receiver in Rashee Rice. I think he should be the guy. I'm not saying it because he's my fantasy guy, but when I watch him play and I watch him catch the ball and run, he is by far the best wide receiver they have.
No, that's
in my opinion. When I watch him, that is the guy that they should force feed if Travis Kelce goes wrong.
That's true. But that's not saying much.
No, that's not
a problem.
Much. But you got Mahomes, though, bro.
But the thing is that they can't play catch up and score those quick touchdowns anymore.
But you got Mahomes, though.
I get it, but I'm just saying those wide receivers are terrible. Every one of those wide receivers is at best a wide receiver 3. At best. You can't do that, because for the one game that your defense is off, like against the Broncos, you can't catch up. Especially if you're playing a team with good corners. What wide receiver on that team is getting open on Marlon Humphrey?
Not many.
No, nobody on that team is getting past him, dude.
Mm-mm.
The Ravens can rush the quarterback. The Ravens are actually the worst matchup for them.
Defensively, yeah.
Because they could run the ball down their throat. And you have Lamar.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think the Ravens would actually be a nightmare for them, because Kansas City is kind of giving up. They're like middle of the pack in the league and giving up rushing yards per game. And what the Baltimore does, they just run the football, time possession. That's what they do, man. Like, I don't disagree with you, but the Ravens, I think they are the best team right now. Like, you
don't fully believe in Lamar yet. Yeah, and that's okay, because he still has to prove it.
Yeah, sure, he does. I mean, the regular season is cool, but I need to see him in the actual playoff game performing at a high level to where I'm like, okay, I see the hype. I see what's going on. I see why they paid him $200 and something million. Not to say I don't see it now during the regular season, because I do. I think he's been excellent. I think he's been a really big reason why the Ravens are what they are. But I also feel like their defense and their scheme is just it's the same shit every year, bro. Like, what you're going to get from them. They're going to run the football. They're going to control the clock. They're going to play good defense. It's what they do. It's what they did the last 2 weeks against NFC's playoff opponents.
The last 2 decades.
Potential playoff teams the last 2 weeks. They played the Lions and they played the Seahawks. They gave up a combined 9 points in those games.
And Lamar's 18-1 against the NFC, or 17-1 or something like that.
Yeah. Like, does that say more about the NFC or the Ravens? Like, that's the question I have. Like, because the Ravens,
I think it says more about the Ravens, bro. The Seahawks and the Lions are good teams.
I think they're good teams.
The Lions are a great team.
But I'm wondering, is the competition in the NFC some shit?
Nah.
Because I don't believe
They also both had to go to Baltimore.
Because here's the thing. Outside of 3 teams, I don't know anybody in the NFC that can make the Super Bowl. Outside of Philly, San Fran, Dallas ain't going to the Super Bowl, but they would be the top 3.
What about are you crazy?
What? I'm saying, like,
You forgetting the Motor City.
I think the Lions are good, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I just struggle with the competition in the NFC. Like, is it top tiered? Like, if the Ravens, if it's more about the Ravens blowing these teams out than it is about the NFC, then what does that say about the NFC?
I just think that for me, it's just Lamar dominates the NFC. I really think it's what it is. I just look at the history. 17, 18-1. That's no joke. That's like pure dominance. And I just feel like the Ravens are the best team in the league right now.
They are the best team in the league right now. They do everything well. Like I said, I mean,
and we talked about it last week when we did it with your pops. I think I had them second. And
you were second, yeah.
But they're better. You had them, I think, 4. That was, you know what I mean? Like, that was a teaching moment.
That's not a teaching moment. That's just
Bro,
that's me
okay.
predicting. No, that was me predicting the Dolphins were going to beat the Chiefs, and I thought that because their explosive offense. I think that their offense is great. They just sputtered against the Chiefs. That's off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the Ravens, like,
the Ravens are the real deal.
They're fucking awesome. Like, the thing with the Ravens is, I'm not a fan of them at all. I just respect them. Yeah. I respect what they do. I just do. Like, their identity doesn't change at all. So, like, anytime your identity doesn't change and a team knows and everybody in the world knows that you're going to run the football and you can't stop it, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I respect it. You know what they're going to get. We don't go in week to week expecting and thinking, oh, is Lamar going to throw for 50 times?
Nope.
They're going to run the ball. And they're going to play good defense, and they're going to keep your offense off the field.
But the problem is now, the good thing is now is Lamar can throw. Lamar's showing you that he can win games throwing. He's throwing the ball great.
Baltimore is 4th in time of possession.
That's what
in the league. That's what they do. And ironically, it goes Cleveland is number 1, Detroit's number 2, Philly's number 3, and Baltimore's number 4. You know who's number 5?
For time of possession?
You'll laugh.
Cowboys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cowboys are number 5.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I figured because they do try to run the ball. It's just not effective. But they try to run the ball. And the problem for the Cowboys, let's talk about it. The problem for the Cowboys isn't between the 20s. The problem for the Cowboys is inside the 20s because the red zone is some shit.
Yeah. Although they did play really well against the Philadelphia Eagles this past weekend in the red zone.
Cat, did you watch the end of that game?
Outside of that drive, yeah.
I got you. But I mean, that was the lasting image. Were you more impressed?
Yeah.
Were you more impressed with the Eagles or Cowboys?
I got to be honest with you, man. The Cowboys, they killed us in the 4th quarter. I was worried about that game. I was worried about the game, yo. When it got to the 4th quarter, don't sit here and cap, bro. Everybody was on edge. The Godfather was on edge too. Everybody in my family was on edge in the 4th quarter. And that last drive, you crazy as hell. You know damn well the whole stadium was on the edge.
I don't know why everybody was on edge. Like,
why?
Because I never underestimate the Cowboys' ability to fuck things up.
But like when you were watching the game, the momentum shifted. It shifted in the second half. Like in the 4th quarter, it was like, oh shit, we couldn't stop them. The Eagles just couldn't get off the field. That was the thing.
I know that. But the
Eagles' offense didn't help them. The Eagles' offense didn't even get a first down. We were struggling, so we let them back in the game.
Well, the
momentum
drive,
switched.
The first drive of the second half, we went right down the field and scored a touchdown.
4th quarter.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I just
4th quarter, bro.
For me with the Cowboys, it's the same thing over and over and over. I told you when we did the episode on the casting couch where we were in the circle of thing. It's the off-season hype. They beat up on bad teams. They're 5-0. They lose to a bad team, and we were right here. We're going to the Super Bowl. Micah Parsons said it, and they lost to the Cardinals. With the Cowboys, dude, it is pure comedy. This team, they're a good team. The problem is they can't operate when it matters. They did it in the playoff game when Dak slid down and they couldn't hike the ball. Last year, they got the doors blown off of them. This year, they played 2 good teams and got beat by them. And for me, it's like, I keep hearing like the Cowboys outplayed them. We had more first downs. We outgained you in yardage. We did this. We did that. And it's like, you still lost.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott was flawless until that last drive. Dak Prescott played great. CeeDee Lamb played great. The coaching was great. The Eagles did not play great. And you still lost. That's a problem. Because if the Eagles play their A game against we just saw the Cowboys A game against the Eagles C game.
But that's concerning to me that the Eagles didn't play their A game to an opponent like Dallas.
No.
You have a division rival coming into your building that is hungry for a win. That is when you got to play your A game. So yes, that is very concerning to me.
Bro, because here's the problem. They still couldn't beat us when we played an average game and they played probably their best game of the season. That's a problem. I don't want to hear about it anymore. It's just, who'd the Cowboys play better than? When the Cowboys don't create turnovers, they don't win.
They had 3 turnovers.
For who?
Well, the Eagles fumbled twice, 3 times.
That's what I'm saying. But we recovered them.
Yeah. Yeah, the ball bounced their way. Yeah,
but I'm saying when they don't get turnovers, they don't win. Their defense needs to create points. And here's the thing, in the offense, you have 1st and goal at the 5, and the last play of the game was on the 40.
All right, look. Yeah, that's because Dak got sacked like twice, right?
But it was a false start.
The Eagles had 3 sacks in the last 2 drives.
Bro,
remember
it was a false start, a sack, and then I think it was a delay of game or something in that order. And I'm just sitting there laughing, and I'm like, this team.
That's not Dak's fault.
They're not good in the red zone, bro. That sack. I'm not going to get too crazy on him because in that moment he can't take that sack.
The Cowboys lost the game on a 2-point conversion, though, Mike.
Yeah, and I'm not even. I didn't even get to that because I'm not like Dak stepped out of bounds, and it's like, okay, bro, like it happened, dude. Oh, he pulled up, he flinched. No, he didn't.
He played excellent.
He was running outside to try and get the angle on Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham's an all-pro.
Although I don't know how he stepped out of bounds. He had a lot of room to work with.
I know, but he also had the ball.
When you replay it,
Yeah, but it is what it is. That's like, I don't even get into that petty stuff. Dak, I've routinely defended Dak. I said he's a top 10 quarterback. I don't care what anybody says. Dak Prescott played great. But again, bro, it was Dak Prescott's A game and the Cowboys' A game, and you still came up short. I don't want to hear about moral victories, bro. That is a loss that stings.
Yeah, but I gotta be honest with you, but I think we saw a lot of holes in the Eagles' armor here. Like, I mean, they're weak. They're weak against the pass. We talked about that. They were absolutely porous against the Cowboys. I mean, it seemed like they could have their way at any moment. We can't cover tight ends. Like, it was kind of glaring. There was a lot of glaring things about the Eagles' defense. I will say that.
But we still won the game.
And they still won the game. Absolutely.
And you're 8-1. Jalen Hurts was banged up.
Absolutely.
The bye week is coming at a perfect time.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think the Cowboys are a threat in the NFC against the Eagles?
No.
So you weren't impressed at all by the Cowboys?
I thought the Cowboys played great, but when it came down to the little things, they were the same old Cowboys.
But they weren't really like. In fairness, they were never expected to win this game.
I don't know about that. That line, that was a Cowboys line.
I think a lot of people could look at this game and be like, "Hey, you know what? The Cowboys didn't win, but you know what? They hung in there in Philly."
Look, they did, but
I think that's what people are going to hang on to, and that's a fair point because, like I said, when they were the Cowboys on the last drive, I seen my whole fucking family on the edge of their seat. They were worried. I'm a call. Yeah. And I know damn well.
I know
damn well when you was watching the game, you was like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Well, I said,
what is going on?
You know what?
The Cowboys going to pull this off?
I can tell you because I texted in the chat and I said to you and Jimmy, and I'm like, yo, what just happened? I feel like they got 75 free yards.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. Cause I was getting yelled at by Allie because I was trying to watch it on my phone while I was giving the baby a bath. And I'm like, yo, you don't understand what's going on right now.
Daddy duty.
Yeah. So I'm like, but like, you know what I mean? Christian had to hold up.
Yeah. I get it.
I got shit to do. So I'm like, I was trying to maneuver that. And then I just saw him and I'm like, but like to touch on the other side real fast, the NFL has to clean up the officiating. This is a joke. And look, the Hassan Reddick, what's it called? Roughing the passer. Like, come on, bro. What are we doing? The hands to the face, it was hands to the face. I don't know why they picked the flag up though. Like I don't understand why they picked the flag up.
They said the rest were they were all on the Eagles. The Eagles cheated and all this shit. That's
not what it is.
That's a corny narrative.
They got 15 free yards on the final drive on Hassan Reddick bumping into Dak Prescott.
Yeah, nah, man, I'm not buying that. That's a corny ass narrative. I can't rock with that. I just think the Eagles were a better team. The Eagles are the better team. Like that's just. And
I wanted to say this. You know how you're saying like, oh, they hung in.
Yeah, absolutely.
But my thing is, if you're talking about a dominant team, it shouldn't be they hung in. It should just be like, yo, they played really good. They just lost. But people are saying like, wow, yo, they hung in against the Eagles because they know Dallas is looking up at the Eagles. If Dallas has to come to Philly.
Everybody's looking up at the Eagles, though. The Eagles won the Super Bowl.
I know, but I'm just saying, if Dallas has to come into Philly in January in the NFC Championship game, we win that game.
I actually think that if that were to happen, I think the Cowboys would have a lot of confidence coming into Philly.
I don't know why. They can have all the confidence they want.
Why?
I don't know why.
They were winning at halftime 17-14.
I mean, yeah, bro. And again, you blew
and then
the
third quarter, they had a really bad quarter. The Eagles absolutely dominated that quarter. But the fourth quarter, the tide started turning a little bit. The momentum.
Jalen Hurts was hurt.
No, he wasn't.
His knee wasn't hurt?
No, he was not.
His knee wasn't
No, he wasn't. And I'll tell you why. I'm not going to use that excuse because when he came out of the half, the first thing he did with the Eagles in the first drive is the Eagles called a running play for him to run, and he got a first down. So I'm not going to use that excuse.
But I don't understand.
He was fine. He was good.
Do you think people don't play through pain? I'm confused here.
Yeah, no, they do.
I've never seen you say somebody was hurt and you say, nah, they were hurt. They were hurt. It's always like, well, nah, look at this. No,
bro,
look at that.
He didn't get any scans during halftime. They didn't even check on him.
He couldn't stand up.
They didn't even check on him at halftime. If he was hurt, he would have got checked out.
Bro, absolutely. He has a bone bruise. What's his face? Jay Glazer reported it.
Yeah, but it wasn't that significant to the point where he couldn't move.
Oh, it wasn't significant. He just got up limping and laid on the ground for 10 seconds and was like,
I couldn't tell what was bothering him because I thought he looked great. I thought he looked fine.
Because he's the third best quarterback in the game.
And the Eagles, that's why the Eagles called the running play to let everybody know, hey, our quarterback is all good. That's why they did that play. It was a reassurance to the fans.
Tell them, Mom. They scored 6 points in the second half.
Yeah, they scored 6 points. They did. In the fourth quarter, they scored it.
Then
the Eagles dominated the third. The Cowboys started turning the tide in the fourth. That's what happened.
And then, but the thing is you get down to the 5-yard line, and honestly, that's the worst thing for the Cowboys. The Cowboys will be better off from the 50 because they can't score in the red zone. They can't score, bro. They have no running game and they have no red zone threat, or they just don't know how to use CD. I don't know. But CeeDee Lamb isn't a wide receiver one if he can't dominate in the red zone. That's part of the game. You need to dominate all over the field if you're a true one. You do. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. It's crazy. You do. You got to blame the coaching. But there has to be blame here. It just can't be, we did this. We did that. No. Is CeeDee Lamb a one? Okay. Find ways to get him the fucking ball in the red zone. Is Tony Pollard the guy that you wanted, that you got rid of Zeke for? Okay. Feed him the rock in the red zone. And if he's not, you made a mistake, that's fine. But Derrick Henry was there for the taking. You didn't have to let go of Amari Cooper. That's poor management of your franchise.
Yeah, but Derrick Henry would have cost a penny, though.
Who gives a shit? You needed him. But that's what you need.
But that wouldn't have got him over the hump, though.
Bullshit.
You think getting Derrick Henry would put him over the hump?
Absolutely. Derrick Henry would have helped him. Totally.
So if the Cowboys got Derrick Henry, they could beat the Eagles.
Absolutely. Because when you're on the 5-yard line, now you can punch in that touchdown.
So what you're saying is all the Cowboys got to do is fix a running game, and then they could beat the Eagles.
It would help them, yes.
Yeah, no, it would help them.
But when you're getting Derrick Henry, who's still a top back.
But what I'm saying is the difference between the Eagles and Dallas is the ability to run the football.
No, but it would help them score. It would help them in their awful red zone.
Sure, it would. Absolutely.
The Cowboys can't score
Gus
touchdowns.
Edwards would help them out.
I mean, maybe, but the Cowboys right now have no run game. That's an issue.
They don't have a running game. I know that.
And you know that better than anybody. 2-yard Tony.
2-yard Tony, bro.
And that's a funny nickname because it's accurate.
That's facts.
It is. And I didn't really realize it until you said that. And then I'm watching him. I went and looked up his stats, and I'm like, yo, Nick is a captain.
I'd be laughing my ass off because every time I watch him, it's just 2 yards, bro. 2 yards.
It was, but now, and that's how I treat him now.
I'd be cracking the fuck up too. I don't even care because I'm just watching. I'm like,
yeah, it is what it is.
2 yards. And when he gets over 2 yards, I'm like, yes, there we go, baby.
He's going to break out.
I'm like, oh, he's back. Yeah. So, he had that one run for like 8 yards when he actually ran through the hole and used his pads and his leverage. And I was like, oh, that looked like Zeke. And then all of a sudden, he wouldn't do it again. And it's like, it just makes you wonder a little bit. But I
look at him sideways.
I gotta be honest with you. I was impressed by the Cowboys. I was impressed by the Eagles. I think I have a little bit more concerns with the Eagles than I do with the Cowboys in terms of defense. Like that worries, because like defense is what you're going to need to be successful in the playoffs.
You want to know,
because when you give up that many yards in the air and you can't cover the tight ends like that, along with your corners struggling, you're going to have a problem.
But here's
you're going to have a big problem.
Here's the problem, and here's one of, if not the biggest difference between the Eagles and the Cowboys. You've watched the Eagles win a shootout. You've watched them win a tight game. You've watched them win on their defense. You've watched them win on their offense. You've watched them win running the ball. You've watched them win in a variety of ways. The Cowboys, there is one way that team wins, and it's the defense needs to score points and create turnovers. If they haven't won a game this year where their defense hasn't created a turnover or scored a touchdown. They just haven't done it. The Cowboys don't win those dog fights. They don't. When they get in those dog fights is when they lose. And then you have people like me that are like, okay, this team isn't for real. This team isn't for real. You can't look at a game this year where you look at the Cowboys and you're like, yo, that was a gutsy win. That was a really good win by the Cowboys. It's not there. It's not there. They can't win in a variety of ways.
I think they're good. I think they're a good team. I just don't know. I don't know if they could beat the Eagles in Philly. They can't. I'll tell you what. I'm still pretty confident in saying that this team is the second best team in the NFC.
Out of your mind, boy. Out of your mind.
Like I mean, look, the Niners are probably the number 2, but like I really do still.
They're not better than the Lions. They're not. The Dallas Cowboys are not better than the Lions. I don't understand how you look at these two teams and say that the Lions are better. You just don't believe in the Lions yet?
No.
Who's better at quarterback right now?
That's hard because Dak Prescott has been playing lights the fuck out the last 3 weeks, bro. The last 3 weeks, Dak has thrown like 1,000 yards. He's been excellent. Like Dak has been on some like.
He's got 8 touchdowns, the 1 interception. He's got 8 touchdowns, the 1 interception, and he's thrown for like
1,000 yards.
33, 6, 2. Yeah, about like 900 yards.
That's really damn good. He's been excellent.
He has been good.
Like Dak's been playing really good.
Look,
I love Jared Goff. I'm a Jared Goff guy, but like Dak Prescott the last 3 weeks, I could argue he's been playing top 5 ball.
I mean, here's the thing, bro, and I am nitpicking here, but he had 3 good games, and people are telling me that the Eagles defense of backs can be had, which it looks like they can. The Rams are terrible, and the Chargers defense is terrible. So it's like, yeah, you're playing against bad DBs. You should be tearing them up like that. But when you play the 49ers, you have 1 touchdown and 3 picks. When you play the Patriots, you have 1 touchdown, no picks. When you play the Cardinals, 1-1. When you play the Jets, 2-0. He's actually played the best out of all the quarterbacks that played the Jets. But then you played the Giants opening night, and you were 0 for 0. So it's like, yeah, you should beat up on teams with bad defensive backs. You should do that. You're a good quarterback. So that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but to do it in Philly at the magnitude of the game, the environment and everything, knowing the rivalry, like to me, like I thought it was an impressive performance, regardless of who the Eagles are.
It was. But I'm just saying, bro, when it comes down to it, they didn't win that close game.
Yeah, they struggled to win the close game.
And that's the problem.
That's true.
That's how you win in the playoffs, and that's how you get to Super Bowls. And this team can't do it.
It
was like Obama said, don't underestimate Joe's ability to fuck things up.
I think,
boy, was he right.
Well, I think my point is that I'm more concerned with the Eagles because I had higher hopes that they would play a lot better defensively.
Of course.
But like, even though that I was very concerned about the pass defense in itself, but overall, I'm more concerned with the Eagles just because I expect more from them. I think for me, it's like it's a little bit more disappointing to see that kind of game because it was like, yo, Dallas really did shred us through the air. Like,
I mean, they scored 23 points, bro.
I know, but they shredded us through the air.
I mean, people are acting like they put up 40. I just don't understand how you're more impressed by a team that's 5-3, hasn't beaten a good team over a team that's 8-1 and has multiple good wins.
I didn't say I was more impressed. I just said that like I'm not more concerned with them because I think I picked the Eagles to win this game. I knew the Cowboys weren't going to beat us in Philly.
Do you think there's a chance that the Cowboys can miss the playoffs?
No.
I think
the Cowboys are a playoff team. Absolutely. In the NFC? Yeah, I had them as the second best team in the NFC.
Yeah, I know, and I told you was wrong from the start.
I actually still believe that. I mean, look,
actually, and your wifey been saying it. You want some shit.
Think about this: you throw for 374 yards, and you score 23 points, right? That's still concerning for the Eagles, though. You gave up 374 yards to a team that you're telling me isn't on their level.
They're not.
Like, so that concerns me. That concerns me, Mike.
Well, again, I'd rather be
concerning.
I'd rather be concerned at 8-1. I wish we were 9-0, but I'd rather be concerned at 8-1 and showing that we could win in any way, shape, or form than be 5-3 and be like, yeah, we more confident, man.
Are you confident that we could beat them in Dallas?
Yeah,
like it's a slam dunk.
They play good in Dallas, but no, I don't think we're going to beat them in Dallas.
I don't think so either.
It's not going to matter.
It could.
No.
It could.
Because we're better than them. Maybe.
No, I think.
Oh, here's the thing. If
the Eagles are better, though. I've always said that.
If the Eagles go to Dallas and like the division's on the line, yeah, we beat them. Absolutely. Because we always show up for the big game.
Yeah.
Dallas doesn't show up for the big game.
I would take the Eagles.
Absolutely. Yeah. But that's going to be a great game. I hope it's for the division because I know we won the division. If we have to play Dallas for the division when we go there in 4 weeks, that's great for me.
All right. So where does Dallas sit at the NFC for you then? Because I have no idea what you think of this team.
I think they're the 4th best team.
Because you said the Lions are better. You think the Niners are better. You think the Eagles are better. But like, where are they 4? Are they 5? Are the Seahawks better? Like, I don't think.
I think the Seahawks and the Cowboys are on the same level.
Oh, hell no, dog.
The Seahawks are better coached.
No.
The Seahawks are better coached. They have a better run game.
Sure.
They have a better run game. They have a better wide receiver group. And their defenses are comparable.
I'm still taking Dak over Geno, Mike.
I am too. I'm not saying that.
That matters, though. And their defense is better than Seattle.
Not by a wide margin.
I don't know, bro.
I don't think Seattle's defense is trash.
Seattle just gave up 37 to the Ravens.
That's different. That's a different ball game.
Why is it different, though?
Because the Ravens are like serious, bro. That's for real. And they were on the road.
The Eagles are serious, too. And they were on the road. They gave up 28 points.
I mean.
To the Eagles? I'm taking. I think Dallas is better than the Seahawks. Do they play? I mean,
Cowboys gave up 28 to the Cardinals.
28 to the
I'm looking here,
yeah.
And they gave up 42 to the Niners.
Josh Dobbs, bro.
He look all right, but I'm just saying, bro. I think the Seahawks in the playoffs. I feel like it's the Eagles, the Lions, the Niners, and then the Cowboys. But I've been on the Lions, so that's not like recency bias. That's not recency bias at all. I've been on the Lions.
No, I'm not saying that. But
so,
like, I just never knew where Dallas stood for you in the NFC because when we talk about it, I'm over here and thinking like, all right, I think they're pretty fucking good. Dog.
I think the Cowboys are a good team.
I think they are too, man.
Bro, they can't get out of their own way with shit. I
fucking hate that team. Fuck the Cowboys.
And the other problem is with them, bro, is that red zone offense is a serious problem. They can't score. They can dominate you for 400 yards. But you have 400 yards of offense, bro, and you have 23 points.
Yeah.
That's not going to work. It's not going to work.
A lot of the yards were in the fourth quarter too, though. They had like 100 and they completely crushed us in the fourth quarter.
And look, the thing with the Niners are just a bad matchup for Dallas.
Sure, yeah.
They're a bad matchup.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Eagles and the Cowboys, that's a matchup that favors Dallas. It's just kind of, but
kind of.
They just match up well with us. But the difference is the Eagles can operate better in the clutch.
Yeah,
they operate in that moment better.
Yeah, I trust our offensive line better than Dallas's.
Yeah. So, but
I mean, overall, I just thought it was a fantastic game. I think it was a really good game because like even at halftime, I'm sitting there, I'm like, damn, Dallas is really up 17-14. And I started thinking about the reels that we posted with the Godfather of him popping his shit, and I'm like, yo, if the Cowboys win this game, we're about to get ripped on the social media shit. So I'm like, oh my God, the Eagles need to come back right here. And they did, and they won. They prevailed because they were the better team, and they've always been the better team. I've always said the Eagles were the better team. I just think that Dallas is the second best team in the NFC, and I think Dallas is the only team that can come into Philly and give the Eagles a run for their money. That is the only team, because I don't think the Niners can fuck with us in Philly, traveling across country. I don't think the Lions can fuck with us in Philly. I think the Lions can fuck with us in Detroit. in the dome.
And you know how I feel about that. Looking at
In
the
the
schedule,
dome,
because I think the Lions lose maybe one more game the rest of the year.
In the dome, yeah, I think the Lions would scare me if the Eagles had to go to the dome. But in Philly, I'm going to take the Eagles. I absolutely. But Dallas would give the Eagles the best run for their money in Philly.
I want to go now. Let's go to the AFC, because I want to talk about a team that is definitely not going to the AFC title game. And they're going to be in Buffalo. Bengals beat the Buffalo Bills 24-18. Regular. Joe Burrow outplays Josh Allen again. Regular. What do you think, Nick? You think the Bills are in trouble?
No, I think you're delusional over there. I think you're tooting your own horn. I think I'm kind of getting sick and tired of it. I think it's old. I think it's embarrassing. I'm just over it, man. I'm over it. It's not regular with Josh Allen. What's regular is the Bills' inability to actually run the fucking football. They don't help him out at all. They really don't. Have you watched the game, bro? Dude, Josh Allen ran for 8 times for 44 yards with a touchdown. James Cook had 6 carries for 20 yards, no touchdowns. Lat Murray had 2 carries for 4 yards. So Josh Allen has the same amount of carries as his running backs. They don't run the football. The defense can't get off the field. They get dominated in time and possession. This is what's going on in Buffalo. It's not Josh Allen. Josh Allen has to be perfect for the Bills to win. So when Josh Allen has his monster games, the Bills usually win. And that's really the biggest issue going on in Buffalo. I don't think it's Josh Allen just shit in the bed. I think he's been pretty good. I just think they haven't given him enough weapons. So yeah, you got Stephon Diggs. Kincaid had to step up because Gabe Davis, I don't know where the fuck he was at. He had no catches. So if your wide receiver 2 has 0 catches, well, what are you going to do?
The good news is
Joe Burrow's got Higgins and he's got Chase. Like he's got a plethora of guys. He's got 2 wide receiver 1s.
Yeah, but he doesn't have an offensive line.
I mean, true, but I don't even think that Josh Allen's offensive line is that good either.
Here's the thing.
I really don't.
As a Josh Allen fantasy owner, they cut back on his running, and
he ran the most out of the
finally.
Yeah,
he finally did it
because he has to against these good teams.
But here's the thing: the offense for the first half all year, bro, they're not good. And then all of a sudden, midway through the third quarter, it's like, all right, let's play football. And they start going crazy. Every single game that I've watched, their offense, I just don't understand it, bro. And they're like the Cowboys in terms of they just suck situationally. Josh Allen is always looking for the home run. And I don't know if it's Josh Allen or if it's Sean McDermott's offense. I don't know. But they are just not a team that likes to dink and dunk and beat you with 3-yard gains.
Because they don't have anybody to do that. Your second wide receiver, the only thing he can do is go deep.
Well, why don't you do it with Diggs?
I think they should give Shakir a little bit more playing time in the slot. I think he's shifty enough to get open.
Why don't you do it with Kincaid?
They did. He got 10 targets. It wasn't good enough. It wasn't enough because you can't run the football.
But at some point, bro.
But like when you watch the Bills play offense, when Josh Allen is dropping back to pass, he never has a lot of time. He's always scrambling because the fucking line is collapsing and he's trying to find an open receiver. Gabe Davis isn't getting open. And the only option you really have is Stephon Diggs. And you have Dalton Kincaid, who actually played pretty well. So it's like, you don't have much options. You're always on 3rd down. You're always behind the sticks. You're always 3rd and 7. You're never going to be successful when you're always going on 3rd and 7 because of your inability to run the football. And if your best ability to run the football is your quarterback, then what does that tell you about your overall offense? It ain't the quarterback. It's the scheme. It's the inability to run the football. That's what's going on. They can't run the ball. Their 2 running backs combined had 24 rushing yards. You ain't beating the Bengals with the 24 rushing yards. But your running backs, it's not going to happen. You're on the road. You got to dictate the game. When you're on the road, you got to bring it to the opposing team. You're on the road. You got to quiet down the crowd. You can't just go in there and say, "Hey, we're going to make Josh Allen throw for 100 times and beat you." No, you got to go in there. You got to have a game plan to be balanced. Keep the defense on their heels, control the clock, and then allow Josh Allen to make the easy plays when he can. But when you're always at 3rd and 10, 3rd and 7, you're not going to be successful. It's like the Bucs last year. They couldn't run the fucking ball, and they were always behind the sticks. When you're behind the sticks on the road, it spells disaster, and it's not a good recipe to win. So to me, it's like Josh Allen has to be perfect for the Bills to be successful. That's how I see it.
I actually do agree with you. It's just like For me, bro,
It sucks because I love Josh Allen. I think he's a fucking fantastic player. And it's like, I just feel like the Bills aren't really doing him a service. His offensive line is ass, bro. It's not that good. It really isn't good. It's not that good. I don't think his offensive line is that good. The Bills are lucky he could run and escape, because if he couldn't, he would be hurt by now. He would be fucking screwed.
I think Sean McDermott's out after the year.
I think so too. I think they need a coaching change. I think they needed something to change that culture, man.
Yeah.
They need to get another wide receiver. They need to just go all out. You have the quarterback.
Do you think he can win a Super Bowl?
Absolutely can win a Super Bowl.
What's more likely?
Absolutely.
Josh Allen, Josh Pasillo, and the Bills miss the playoffs, or the Bengals make the Super Bowl? What's more likely to happen?
I wrote this down. Hold on.
Josh Pasillo. That's your new name moving forward.
I like it.
Or do you
That's
like
fine.
Nick Allen?
I have no problem with it because I like Josh Allen, and he's a baller. He's handsome as fuck, and that's it. Yeah, he's a handsome dude. You can call me Josh. Yeah, it's part of the family tree. If you're going to have my last name, you're handsome. Right? Am I right?
Oh, my God. Man, yeah, I wish you defended my name as much as you defend Josh Allen.
Look, the better chance of happening is the Bengals going to the Super Bowl. The Bills ain't missing the playoffs, bro.
Fucking crazy.
You're fucking out of your mind.
No, you're out of your fucking mind.
If you actually think the Bills are missing the playoffs, man, you need some help.
No,
bro.
you need Jesus, bro.
You are absolutely crazy.
You need to get on your knees and go in prayer. I'm dead serious, bro. You're out of your fucking mind.
Oh, really? No, explain it.
Bro, look at this schedule.
Okay, what about it?
The Jets, who already beat them.
They're good. The Bills are good team
too. The Eagles, the Chiefs, the Cowboys, that defense.
Yeah.
The Chargers, the Patriots, and the Dolphins. Bro, they're 5-4. They have one more win than the Raiders.
Who's getting in over him then?
The Chargers. That Chargers Bill game could be important as hell. All jokes aside, that could be a really big game for that wild card. Seriously, you know that too.
All right, so
that's a good question. I like that question a lot because what's more likely to happen? The Bills miss the playoffs or the Bengals go to the Super Bowl? And I told you
I really do that.
You do. The Bills were my team this year to take a step back, and I said I could see them winning around 9 games.
You did say that.
A pod.
Yeah, you do.
I do this.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
I really do this shit.
I do that. Yeah. Yeah. We were just laughing about that. But it's gonna be a tricky end of the season.
I don't see them missing the playoffs, man, because that means Pittsburgh, the Browns, the Texans, the Chargers, and or the Jets would have to leapfrog the Bills. And I think the Bills are better than those teams. Although I love the Browns. I've been a Brownie all year.
Well, they don't play the Browns. Sorry.
No.
So that's interesting.
So like, I think they're better than the Chargers. I think they're better than the Browns. I think they're better than the Steelers. I think they're better than the Texans. Although I think the Texans will give them a fight.
Yeah, because the Texans are built.
And you know, it's like the thing about the Bills this year too is like I am not impressed by their defense. I don't know about you. Their defense has been some ass. So like I have been way off the Bills in general as a team. I just think they don't have it, man. They just don't. And I felt bad. I don't think it's a quarterback problem at all. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You're tripping if you think that.
No, I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that.
You're trolling. You're trolling. You're bullshit.
I know.
You're absolutely trolling if you think it's Josh Allen. It's crazy.
No, I'm not. I'm just simply saying the overwhelming MVP favorite, best player in the league, is now we're questioning is he going to make the playoffs? And it's like it's the same squad that he's had for 3 years. And for 3 years, I've been telling you, regressing.
He's not regressing.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not regressing. The fucking team is garbage, bro.
Nick, he's leading the league in interceptions again.
Bro, because he has to do everything. Mike, he has to run the fucking ball. Yeah. He has to do the entire offense.
Yeah, he has to throw the ball into triple coverage.
He has to be perfect for them to win. If he was throwing all these picks and he was winning, you wouldn't say anything about his picks.
What are you talking about? I said about Jalen Hurts' picks, but he cleaned it up over the last 3 weeks.
If he was winning, this wouldn't even be a conversation. If I'm telling you right now.
Bro, I've been complaining about the same thing about Josh Allen.
Bro, it's not Josh Allen's fault, bro. When I watch the Buffalo Bills, you can clearly see there's a lot other issues going wrong around him.
Is he the leader of the team?
Yes, absolutely.
Is he the leader of the offense?
But he can only do so much when you can't run the fucking ball, dog.
Do the Chiefs run the ball?
They have Mahomes. Mahomes is different.
I was told that Josh Allen's the best player in the league.
Who said that?
2 years ago.
I said that
last year.
I said Josh
Actually,
Allen's best value.
last year.
Where?
We're gonna bring up the footage when we were talking about
All
it.
right, please.
And I was talking about him being overrated, and you were saying, I think he's the best player in the world, bro. You were saying that.
He's not better than Mahomes. I never said he was better than Mahomes.
At one point, you did. It might have
I
been
said
2
he was
years
better than
ago.
Mahomes?
I think it was after the NFC
I
Championship
must have
game
been
the next year.
absolutely obliterated out of my mind.
You were, and,
ain't no
that's
way
what I
would say
told you.
that.
And I told you, and I said, bro, don't hit me for half no more. All right. So I think that's a really good question. I would say that it's a better chance of the Bengals going to the Super Bowl.
Me too.
And it's because the Bengals are scary. And when they click, they click. And Joe Burrow is a monster. That team is good, man. Joe Burrow is second best quarterback in the league by far, man. Him and Mahomes are just in their own class. They're just excellent to watch. I'm happy we get to watch them.
Yeah,
I really am.
I mean, he's got a good team around him, though. Too,
he does.
man.
He does. And it's going to be curious to see what happens with Higgins.
Oh.
It's going to be curious to see what happens with Higgins. And it sucks because the Bills are in cap hell and they can't go get Higgins next year because of their cap situation. They're not going to be able to build a team because of Josh Allen's cap hits. So that really is unfortunate for them. If I'm the Panthers, I give him any check he wants for Bryce Young. I give him any check he wants.
If I'm Higgins, I ain't even going there.
He would have for 35, 40 million a year.
Yeah, but you also want to win too as a competitor.
I mean, maybe he believes in Bryce Young. I mean, Adam Thielen
I can see
told
Dallas going after Higgins.
Yeah, but I mean, look,
which would be crazy.
Adam Thielen went to the Panthers because they were a Super Bowl contender. So maybe he'll go there.
Yo, what was my take on that? Remember I was like, oh,
you said you loved his energy and you thought that it was great.
You were like, yo, do you think he believes that? I was like, hell yeah, he believes that.
I know. Just another time I had to give you some knowledge or whatever.
Absolutely believes that.
All right, Week 10 NFL preview. Eagles are on a bye week this week. What do you think about them? And what do you think they go after the bye?
Worried about the defense. Worried about the inability to stop the pass. I mean, it's a passing league, man. Like that worries me.
Did they stop the pass when it had to be stopped?
Yeah, but like I said,
appreciate it.
But like, if Dak could throw for 374 on you, man, like I'm worried about what.
Why? You told me he's been playing top 5 ball.
He has been playing top 5.
So then he should be able to throw for 375 on you.
Well, I'm saying in regards to what you think about the Cowboys, you think the Cowboys are some shit because you're like, oh my god, they scored 23 points with all these yards. But yeah, like they balled out. You're telling me the Cowboys stink, but the Cowboys did damage against the Eagles and through the air.
They did damage and scored 23 points.
Bro, he had 374 passing yards. That's called he did his thing. What do you want him to do? You're telling me 374 passing yards is something to scoff at on the road in Philly?
I'm just saying it's pointless when you lost. I'm just saying it's pointless when you lost.
No shit, he lost. But it's still concerning for the Eagles to give up 374 passing yards at home.
Would you rather look bad and lose, would you rather look bad and win or look good and lose?
Of course I would want to win.
Okay, so
but I'm saying I'm concerned about the passing defense. That's a fair concern. The Eagles are one of the worst teams in the league.
We'll get it together. We will get
I don't know because
together.
the Eagles have a lot of injuries in the secondary now.
They do got.
I'm worried. Yeah, absolutely.
I got injuries.
Yeah, like I'm worried. Do I think the Eagles can be the 1 seed? Yeah, I think the Eagles are the best team in the NFC. Absolutely. I've said it all year. I didn't backtrack on that. What I'm saying is I'm just concerned about the inability to stop the pass because there are other teams out there in the NFC that could throw the football. Lions could throw the football. They can. The Niners can throw the football too. When they're all healthy with Debo and everybody's clicking, yeah, they could do damage too. That's why, like, to me, it's like, yeah, I'm worried about the Eagles in that regard, but I think the Eagles are still going to go to the Super Bowl.
Of course. I'm not worried about the Eagles.
You should be, though.
Why would I be worried about the Eagles? I mean, why would I be worried about an 8-1 team that has shown me over 9 games they could win ugly, they could win pretty, and they could win by any means necessary? Right. I won't be concerned about that.
All right.
Follow me for more tips.
All right.
Browns versus the Ravens. Ravens -6.
I'm going to remember that.
Oh, I can't wait. Just like you remember the one when I told you the Eagles had the second round bye versus the Giants.
I can't remember that. I don't remember that one.
You don't remember that?
No.
Oh, I want footage.
No, I remember you telling me that the Vikings were fucking awesome.
I knew you were going to say that. As soon as I said that, I'm like, I know he's going to go.
I'm like, I remember that. I remember.
God forgets. Nick don't.
I don't forget, dog.
What does Cleveland need to do to pull off this upset?
They need Deshaun Watson to be Deshaun Watson of Houston.
No, they don't. They need Deshaun Watson to stay on the bench.
Nah, they need. No, well, he actually played pretty decent last game. It wasn't bad.
What did he throw for 43 yards?
I think that was his best game. Honestly, that was probably his best game. But Deshaun Watson, he needs to be like Houston Deshaun Watson for them to have any chance to beat the Ravens in this one, because I think the Ravens are playing at such a high level that it's a mismatch.
Hold up, yeah. This dude has 900 passing yards, 6 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions.
In like 5 games, right? 5 games?
Yeah, bro.
He played 5 games, right?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, so he's throwing a touchdown a game.
Oh my God. This is embarrassing.
I mean, yeah, they made a mistake. There's no doubt about it. I bet you, if I could have a talk with the owner of the Browns right now, face to face, I had to swear that I couldn't tell anybody his answer, and he told me straight up and was like, "Hey, I'm going to tell you something, but you can't say anything to anybody." I guarantee you, he says we made a big mistake signing Deshaun Watson.
100%, bro.
Absolutely, they're not going to come out and say it.
I'd rather have Josh Dobbs.
Do that. I mean, Josh Dobbs is playing fucking awesome, but I mean, future-wise, I probably would roll with Deshaun just because.
I'd rather have David Porter
or Davis Mills. But nah, I mean, like, I don't know. I don't think Cleveland's going to pull off the upset. I think the Ravens are going to win this one. I think they're going to win this one pretty convincingly. I mean, it's a pretty big line, 6 points, especially for being division in the game too.
Yeah.
So, and the Browns have been playing well. They're 5-3. They're one of those weird, scary teams. It's just. The weirdest part about them is that their expensive asset is their quarterback, and that's the worst part of their team right now. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
So it is a little weird, but I just think the Ravens are going to win this game.
I got the Ravens too here, but I'm concerned because this is here's the thing, dude. That's a big line, but the Ravens are coming off back-to-back blowouts, and they have the Bengals next week, and it's going to be a huge game for playoff implications.
This is a huge game too because the Browns are 5-3.
That's true. This is a big game.
This is huge. This is everything for the standings, man. Because if the Browns,
it's huge.
Oh yeah, I have a nice size.
Yeah,
but yeah, like if the Browns win this one, they'll be 6-3, and Baltimore's gonna be 7-3.
Yeah.
So like this is a huge game for them. Yeah. In my opinion, especially for Baltimore, because you're playing a divisional opponent at home. You can't lose. I'm
taking the Ravens here, but I'm taking the Brownies with the points, dude. I'm taking the Brownies with the points with that defense.
I'm out on that. I mean, when they played earlier, they won 28-3.
Yeah,
the Ravens. I think the Ravens.
I got the Ravens -6, and I got the Ravens. I'm taking the Browns plus the 6.
All right, I got the Ravens both ways.
Texans at the Bengals. Bengals -6.5, staying in the NFC and AFC North.
Yep.
Whatchamacallit? You think it's a trap game for the Bengals?
This is a trap game. I hate it for them. This is the one matchup where I'm like, I think the Bengals can lose here. I think they will lose this game. I'm taking the Texans to win this game on the road. This is my psychotic upset of the week. I think the Texans are going to be they're going to win this game. They seem like they have a lot of confidence playing in any building, and they have a swag about them that like they just have something about that team where I'm like, they can go anywhere and compete. And I think that's what's going to happen here. I think the Bengals are going to get caught slipping. I think the Bengals beating the Bills is they're going to kind of feel themselves a little bit. They've won 4 straight. I think the Bengals are kind of due for a letdown to a degree, and then they can go back on another run. So I think they're going to lose this game to the Texans. CJ Stroud has been playing excellent football.
So I don't hate the pick, but I think you're wrong. And the reason I think you're wrong is that I think how the Texans came back against the Bucs took everything out of them. And when you have monster games like that, you normally come down a little bit the following week. And I just feel like the Texans, this is too important of a game for them to drop.
The Bengals play the Ravens next week, though. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think it's a trap game.
I don't think people are taking the Texans lightly anymore. So I don't think they're getting overlooked.
Yes and no.
I don't think they're getting overlooked.
I don't think now because CJ Stroud's been all in the media.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the hype is there for sure.
Do you think Burrow's in the MVP conversation?
Absolutely he is. He's playing a lights out football, man. I mean, to say otherwise, you'd be hating. You know what I mean? He's playing MVP. He's playing MVP caliber of football. He's getting his playmakers the ball. He's making the right decisions. And yeah, he has commanded this whole team. Where this team goes as Joe Burrow goes. When he was struggling early on due to his injury, this team was flat. They were 1-3. They didn't look like the Bengals. But when he got healthy, they looked like they they rally behind this quarterback, man. They really do. It's just they won 4 straight. They're looking like one of the juggernauts in the AFC once again. And, to say that he's not playing at MVP level, you'd be lying.
I agree.
Absolutely.
49ers -3 at the Jaguars. Both teams coming off a bye. Is this a must win for the Niners, you think?
Absolutely, it's a must win. You can't come off a bye losing after you just lost 3 straight.
Does Brock Purdy
get demoralizing?
Benched? Does Brock Purdy get benched if they lose?
No. Who's the replacement? Sam Darnold?
Yeah.
I don't think so, because if you bench Brock Purdy at this point, you're not going back to him. You're not going back to him. You're moving on for real, because he's the last pick of the draft. You have nothing. You have no commitment towards him. You know what I mean? There's no long-term contract. You know what I mean? Like there's no tie to him. So yeah, I think that if they bench him, that's it for him in San Francisco. And I don't think it's going to happen this early, because I think they could look at this opportunity as, all right, he won like X amount of games in a row. Now he had a little bit of trouble. That happens. But our team as a whole hasn't been performing along with the quarterback. So it really isn't all on the quarterback as the reason why they're losing. So I'm going to say no. I think they're going to stick with Brock. Absolutely.
Me too. I'm taking the 49ers. This is my iconic lock. This is a stone cold lock.
Really?
The Jaguars are coming off a bye. Yes, they won 4 games in a row. The 49ers lost 3 games in a row. The 49ers are coming out ready. I just don't see a scenario where the 49ers lose
I
this
thought
game.
that too when they lost twice in a row.
I know.
Like, there's no way to lose in 3 in a row.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying, bro. The Jaguars are due for a loss. This is a loss the Jags can afford, and it's not a loss that the 49ers can afford.
What kind of impact do you think Chase Young's going to have?
I mean, here's the thing. I think he'll have some impact because I think he'll be rejuvenated because he's going to be on a winning team. But I think
he needs reps.
I don't know. Yeah, but I think
he needs to be on the field.
He'll help because he's not going to get all the attention now.
Right.
So he's going to eat.
Yeah, he should.
He should anyway. If he doesn't eat here,
he was drafted that high because of his ability to get to the quarterback. He was supposed to be
in the conversation with the Nick Bosas and shit like that.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be a dog. He just turned out to be a little poodle.
A little bit, yeah. Well, in fairness to him, he was injured.
Yeah.
He has been injured.
He tore his ACL, right?
Twice. I think he got injured twice.
Yeah. So I actually can't even say that dog joke.
So it's like, all right, I mean, just give him a shot. So that's why the Commanders were okay to get rid of him, because he was on a contract year. They had to either pay him or get rid of him and get something in return. They did the latter, and they got something in return. I'm not saying what they got in return was what is really valuable. I think they believe they got a 3rd-round pick for him.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, look, I think it's a great deal for the Niners. I mean, it gives them another piece. If something were to happen to Bosa, at least you can have Chase Young there to kind of, step in his shoes if anything were to go wrong. But in the flip side, you can have Chase Young and Bosa on opposite sides, and that's scary. That could be really scary combination. But I got the Niners here too. I don't think they're going to lose this game. I think they have to win. This is a must win for them. I think they're going to come through. I think they are a really good football team. And I think, all good teams need that low point. They're about to hit their stride, though, soon.
Lions -2.5 at the Chargers.
This game is tough. What do you think about this game?
I got the Lions both ways.
Do you?
Yeah, I got the Lions -2.5. They're a better football team. They got the better quarterback right now.
I'm shocked the Lions are favored on the road here. That's the shocking part to me in this game, is like Detroit is on the road going to the Chargers with a boatload of talent, and they're favored.
That's how far the Lions have come.
I mean, I think that's how much Justin Herbert has dropped in terms of respect, because he's an underdog at home against the Detroit Lions.
Bro,
I'm not saying the Lions are bad, but it's, you know what I mean? Like, it's like,
fam, did you just see him play? He threw for 135 yards against the Jets.
He was awful.
I don't care if the Jets defense is great. He threw for 135 yards.
He was awful. And I know that because I bet him to have 250 plus, and the thing wasn't moving. The meter wasn't moving on FanDuel.
You put the fucking kibosh on him.
Yeah, the meter wasn't moving on FanDuel. I'm like, yo, is bro hurt? Is it what's going on? Can you complete a pass?
He was, look, man.
Bro, it was bad.
Who'd you rather have on the next 3 years, Jared Goff or Justin Herbert?
Justin Herbert.
You crazy.
And I say that because this guy, he throws for 4,400 yards. He has all the statistics. I can trust in the upside of Justin Herbert to figure it out in the next 3 years because of his complete skill set. Like, he has the physical attributes. I would invest in him figuring it out in the next 3 years over Jared Goff because I think his ceiling is a lot higher than Jared Goff's. Although I love Goff. I think Goff is the most slept-on quarterback in the league.
He is.
And I'm a big fan of Jared Goff. But for the next 3 years, I'm taking Justin Herbert over Jared Goff, even though the winning side doesn't favor what I'm saying.
So right now, Jared Goff is better than Justin Herbert. He just is. Jared Goff is better. And I trust him more. Jared Goff has been to a Super Bowl. Jared Goff has shown me improvement. When he got to Detroit, it was low times.
So next 3 years,
who you take? Around. I don't know.
Fuck that. What do you?
I don't know.
What's your gut say?
My gut, honestly.
If you were a GM right now and you were like, all right, I had the chance to either keep Jared Goff or go out and go get Justin Herbert.
Honestly, at that point, like it's the same thing that we always talk about, dude. The raw talent. Like how do you say no?
I know.
But I don't like that. Like, I want to say Jared Goff. My head tells me Jared Goff, and my heart says Justin Herbert.
I know. Because
Justin Herbert's gifts are just, when you look at the gifts, you can't ignore them. But when I watch the play, I'm like, yo, like, that's what I said. Like, I stand by this, bro. Right now, Dak Prescott's better than Justin Herbert. He is. And you kiss my ass. But I'm just saying, like, with Justin Herbert, man, like, he's a 500 quarterback, bro. He came into the league and was great and stayed on a steady line. He never improved. Yeah. And that's the problem.
Do you think Justin Herbert would have the same impact on the Lions as Jared Goff did?
No, because I don't think he's as good of a leader. I don't think he has the same personality as Jared Goff. Whatever Jared Goff did in that locker room has captivated all of them.
It's interesting. I wonder how Dan Campbell and Justin Herbert will work. I feel like they're two different personalities.
Here's the thing.
I think Jared Goff weirdly has that dog in him.
I was just gonna say this. I think Jared Goff's a dog. I don't think Justin Herbert's a dog.
I agree with you.
I do. I think Goff's a dog.
I do agree with that.
Jared Goff is actually the perfect quarterback in the Motor City.
He actually is. He's
slept
perfect,
on.
Yeah.
He slept on. Nobody believes in him.
Yeah.
He's the type of dude that
blue collar
and goes to the shelter.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
He goes to the shelter.
He's trying to make ends meet. I appreciate people like that.
He gets done his NFL job and he goes to the plant and cuts metal. That's it. He's sick of eating the food off of that fucking lunch truck.
Who what? Who said what?
He left that bullshit home on the dresser.
Yeah, that is the best
Saints,
movie ever.
-2.5 at the Vikings.
I'm going to go Vikings here. And I am completely I just think Josh Dobbs has something magic going on with the Vikings that is going to lead me to believe that Justin Jefferson is going to find his way back into the season somehow. The Vikings are still in this motherfucking
They have a very weak schedule.
They got the same record as the Saints. They're home. I think Josh Dobbs is going to struggle here.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to take the Saints on this one. I've changed. The Saints defense, bro, they're going to get after Dobbs. They're going to make this boy make some mistakes. And I know he can move around the pocket, but when I look at this matchup, it's all about the Saints defense here. I think this is the reason why they're going to win the game. It's not their offense, it's their defense.
I have the Saints both ways. I wanted to take the Vikings, but for the same reason you said, that defense is too good. I believe in that defense too much. However, we got to talk about Derek Carr. He's been a major disappointment, bro.
I agree with you.
He's been a big disappointment. And like, here's the thing. I don't think Derek Carr is like some world beater. I don't think he's that, but he's been some ass.
But for a guy that had a chip on his shoulder, got let go from a franchise, the way it ended, and to get a new team, you would feel like you'd be rejuvenated. You'd be playing with a chip on your shoulder. You'd be playing with some madness, some fire. I don't see that. I see a lot of like, it just looks like complacency and just overall mid-ass play. It's not impressive. It really isn't impressive. I mean, Michael Thomas didn't even have a catch last game, and I feel like Michael Thomas can actually make an impact on his team and offensively. You know, I mean, whatever is left of Michael Thomas, but I think he can make some impact. They got Derek Carr to move the football through the air and kind of limit the mistakes that they had in the past with Jameis Winston. when I see Derek Carr play, I don't see the explosiveness.
I feel like they would be in the same position with Jameis.
You can argue that. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. They might be in a little worse situation,
maybe a game or so, but
just because Jameis is turnovers, and I think but Derek Carr to me has not been impressive. I don't know. Do you think Derek Carr's going to stay next year? You think that the Saints are going to keep him?
Yeah, because I think they probably wind up winning that division, and then it'll be a second year.
I hope they don't win the division. I need the Falcons to win that division.
I know. I don't know. I have no idea. That's a good question. I'm
interested in seeing that because I gotta be honest with you. I don't even think the Saints ownership can be impressed.
Hell no.
But
they're honestly, in cap hell. You can't have any more dead money. They can't.
Yeah, they can't.
They have the worst cap situation in the league by far.
Yeah.
Giants at Cowboys. Cowboys minus 16.5. I actually think it went to 17.
I actually think this line is actually bananas, but that's a big line. They're telling you to take the Giants with the points, divisional game. I'm taking the Cowboys both ways.
So am I.
That point total to me is absolutely insane. It's division game. And Daniel Jones is out. They got Tommy D. Cuzz at quarterback. I'm out.
I think that episode 181. Tommy D.
Cuzz and have his thing like that.
Yeah, where he was bored at Jake's.
Yo. If anybody out there, right, is listening to this right now, if you post a photo or any type of caption that says bored at Jake's or bored at your friend's house, whatever your friend name is,
and you're at your friend's,
that's got to be looking back. That's got to be one of the most disrespectful posts you could ever post in your life. And our boy did it and made it his profile picture. It was his profile picture.
And it was his caption.
Yeah, that was a caption on the profile picture. Bored at Jake's. So my homeboy's caption on his profile picture is bored at my crib. Damn, what kind of fucking friend are you?
And meanwhile, bro was shitting on his fucking. Yo, move on.
Hold on. Let's talk about that, yo. What would you do if you walked into your bedroom and you saw a fucking turd that was sitting on your carpet? What would you do?
Look, I don't know.
And while this happened, your homeboys are at the crib. And you went into your room and you saw a turd on your on your floor, on your bedroom floor. You saw a fucking pile of shit that was perfectly placed on the floor of your on the rug of your room.
Look, I've heard.
What are you supposed to do?
I've been a part of some funny shit, no pun intended. And if we're all hanging out at bro's house and somebody says yeah, I got to go to the bathroom, and he goes upstairs and he goes into your bedroom and takes his shit and then goes home like nothing happened. And then you walk upstairs to go in your bedroom and you just walk in there and it stinks in here. And you just see a pile of shit in the middle of the floor. What would go through my head there?
It's funny. After all these years, I never thought of one thing. Did he wipe?
Yeah, right.
There was no toilet paper.
Maybe
it was just a fucking turd on the floor.
Oh,
there was no traces of toilet paper. Not like the one if you wipe.
Yeah.
Right. You have the little the little balls because the toilet paper is so trash.
Bro, he shit in his bedroom.
It's like the poop balls from the toilet paper. There's no sign of any toilet paper around.
And shit in his bedroom.
That's embarrassing. We just got way off topic with that, but we just had to share that because that is actually the most craziest things. And I just wanted to know your reaction of what would happen if that happened to you.
I'm taking the Cowboys both ways. No questions asked. The Cowboys are going to smack Tommy D because, the Giants are headed right to a top 3 pick, and that's facts, not fiction.
I'll black out for real.
And the track going missing.
And if it's cap, I'm dipping.
All right. Week 10 slate, and then we get out of here because it's late. Panthers at Bears. Bears minus 3.5.
Panthers upset here. The Panthers will win this game.
I got the Panthers too, actually.
Yeah.
I like them here. Bears are some shit. Justin Fields isn't back.
Although I will say this is a kind of a revenge game for Deontay Foreman. He's going to score tomorrow night.
What about DJ Moore?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I didn't think about DJ Moore. Yeah, DJ Moore is but Deontay Foreman stuck out to me because he's been balling.
Colts -1.5 at Patriots.
Patriots. I think the Patriots get the dub here.
So do I. Colts. I mean, Bill Belichick should be able to beat Gardner Minshew.
He better.
Packers at Steelers. Steelers -3.
I'm gonna take the Steelers here. I'm not a big believer in the Packers. I was early on, but even though they just had a nice, impressive win, I think the Steelers are going to win this game. It's hard to bet against Mike Tomlin, man. I believe in his style. I believe in the way that his players rally around him. I think they're going to find a way.
I got the Steelers too, both ways. It's not really that hard for me. It's just the Packers offense hasn't been that good. Titans at Bucks. Bucks -1.5.
I originally was going to take the Titans here, but I'm going to go with the Buccaneers. I think the Buccaneers need this game more. I think they are still in divisional hunt, even though the Titans are too, but the Bucks are home. I think Todd Bowles can cause a lot of problems with Will Levis, and I think that's going to be the name of the game. I think the Bucks defense is going to step up. They're going to play pretty well at home, and that's going to be the reason why they get this win. Give me the Bucks both ways.
I got the Bucks both ways too. When there's a Baker, there's a way.
That's crazy.
And Bake Show's been playing awesome this year. Similar to what you said, Todd Bowles should be able to confuse Will Levis. Falcons -1.5 at the Cardinals.
I got the Falcons here. Give me Mr. Passion over the Cardinals. I mean, the Cardinals to me, like I just feel like I know Kyler Murray's playing cool, but he hasn't played in a little while. I think he's going to have a lot of rust on his hands. So give me the Falcons here.
I like the Cardinals in an upset. I do.
I don't hate it.
I do. I'm not a huge Kyler Murray fan. We know this.
I need the Falcons to win for my parlay, so root for that, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro.
I have the divisional one.
All right. Well, I don't care then if the Falcons win. I like the Cardinals.
Just take the Cardinals. It's okay.
Commanders at Seahawks. Seahawks -8.
I got the Seahawks here winning this game, but I'm going to take the Commanders with the 6 points here. I think the Commanders can cover this spread in Seattle. Seattle hasn't really been impressive to me. Even like they have 3 good wide receivers, and it doesn't seem like they're in a rhythm. I feel like Geno Smith and DK Metcalf have been kind of off, which is kind of odd because last year they were excellent. But I feel like Jackson Smith and Jigba has stepped up really well. Tyler Lockett's been playing pretty well. So if they can get DK Metcalf on board, they could be really scary. But I think Commanders right now are playing pretty good ball, and I think Sam Howell has been playing pretty good as well.
I got the Seahawks. I got them both ways. They're coming off an embarrassing loss, and they're at home. I don't think the Commanders can hang with them.
They just sold the farm too. So I don't know. I feel like that always kind of like rejuvenates a team weirdly. Like they sell a lot of pieces and then all of a sudden they win.
Dead weight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Jets -1.5 at the Raiders.
Give me the Raiders. I think the Raiders, their locker room is pretty strong. The Jets, to me, I feel like they have a lot of issues going on with the quarterback position. And at some point in time, it's going to be deflating for the entire team. Like I feel like the defense is going to get tired of covering their ass a little bit and keeping them in the game. But I think the Raiders win this game. I like them here.
I have such a hard time picking this game because like what the Jets defense has done to good quarterbacks, and now you got Aiden O'Connell coming in there. I'm taking the Jets, but I'm going to take the Raiders. I think the Jets win on a late game field goal.
Oh, you're taking the Raiders with the points?
With the points. I think the Jets win on a late game field goal.
I like it.
Broncos at Bills. Bills -7.5.
I got the Bills here, but I'm going to take the Broncos with the points. I think the Bills' inefficiency of running the football is going to haunt them in this game. The Broncos, they had a great defense the last couple of years. They played excellent against the Chiefs a couple of weeks ago, coming off a bye. I think they can cover this spread.
Same. I actually like what you said. I think Javonte Williams is going to cause problems. So I think Javonte Williams, they're going to lean on him more. He had 27 carries last week. I think that he's going to be able to run the ball down the Bills' throat.
That's good.
So I got the Bills on the money line and the Broncos +7.
Love it. I love it.
All right, guys, that concludes episode 181. Thank you to everybody that tuned in and commented. We'll see you guys next Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Take it away, Nick.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We appreciate all the love, support, and the comments. If you guys haven't done so already, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on YouTube. We are also available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeart, Megaphone, Stitcher,
and all that other shit.
Also follow us on all of our social platforms, as you do not want to miss our daily content on X, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And what else do we got? We got some other X, TikTok. YouTube, TikTok. Yeah, we got all that shit. So subscribe to us, follow us, like our shit, Be a good friend. Be like Marcos. I need more friends like Marcos. Marcos comes in here, texts me my content, says, I love it, Nick. Keep barking. He encourages me as a friend. So I need more friends like Marcos. I appreciate you, Marcos, and I love you. But that concludes our show. We will see you guys next week at P&I, baby. Enjoy week 10.
I'm caps lock different. It's facts, not fiction. Said I black out for real, then the track gone missing. If it's cap, I'm dipping. We ain't talking about a move, then it's flatline finished. When I spaz, I'm grinning. Put a peel off in the Sadies and I pass by spinning. It's perks with this life, but I don't have my skinnage. Took a quick trip and now I'm back home winning. And I see they eyes pop like I snack on spinach. Pull up to the spot, she tryna grab my digits. I'm already 8 shots, a Henny past my limit. Here you go. Hazards with a dash full of tickets. I'ma act like I don't see them. I got bad eye vision. Y'all can't pass my scrimmage.